Hey everybody, this is a third of four sessions of Apocalypse World, Hong Kong, which we're calling Happy Valley. And that's because it's set in Happy Valley, not because it's actually happy, right? Because it's Apocalypse World, so it can't be happy. There's sadness and shooting. This is we have three returning characters and one new character. And so what we're going to kick off with is a bit of HX so we can fold in Mick's character. Mick, tell us quickly, tell us about your character. Tell us, tell me about your character. That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mick, and I'll be playing a battle babe named Wu, who is at some point going to show up at Happy Valley and see about getting a spa treatment or something. And then I'm sure that all kinds of antics will ensue. As most battle babes are, he's really cool, not at all hard, and he's going to be ice cold and have impossible reflexes. And carries around an ornate handgun and a haft that has hidden blades in it. So we'll see if that messes anybody
Cool.
up.
All right. So Mick, if you want, like, I don't know if this benefits you, like often it does me, but if you actually literally look up Happy Valley, Hong Kong on Google Maps, you can find it,
Okay.
and it's really
Yes,
neat.
I will.
There's a section. It's got a recreation ground, a race course. It's actually kind of a ritzy little section of the city, and we're saying that survived more or less intact. The apocalypse here is not one of our tenets. We didn't want to go back to medieval. Like, this is not Road Warrior. We're not going back to a medieval setup where we have no electricity whatsoever. It's an apocalypse. There are gangs. There's violence. There are a lot of the tropes that would allow these playbooks to be part of the world, but there's electricity. There's a bit of civilization, and also there are monsters, like irradiated monsters. Is kind of one of the things that happens to be out in the outside, larger than normal, larger than now. I guess it's kind of normal then, larger than you would expect, animals and the like. And there are some beast hunters. That's NPCs, no player character beast hunters, because the player characters are far too smart to do such a stupid thing as go out and try to shoot a giant deer.
That's why you get barter, so you can hire the other people who are expendable to go do it.
Hire the crazy ones to do that. Cool. So thank you for the rundown for Woo. Let's start with our hard holder. So Yosh, if you could start with Lynn, and then if you have any HX that you can give to the Battle Babe, which will probably be your defaults.
Sure. Do you want me to give like a quick rundown of who Lynn is, or just the
Absolutely.
stuff?
Rundown of who Lynn is, please.
So Lynn is the hard holder. They're ambiguous, and they're kind of in charge of things. They're kind of very straightforward and functional. They're trying to make sure that Happy Valley is the best place that it can be. And they're willing to go to some pretty extreme means to make sure that happens. So they're kind of like they have noble goals, but the means or the ends definitely justify the means for them. And as far as HX goes, my HX, I've got +1 for everybody. So because I'm the hard holder, it's my job to know everyone's business.
Cool. Mick, do you have any HX back to Lynn that you want to give out? Or do you want to go through your questions after everybody's introduced their characters?
I want to hear everybody first.
Cool.
If that's
Awesome.
okay.
Johannes, remind us of Mercury.
Perfect. Happily. So Mercury is the Skinner of the group. So he is kind of what our apocalypse, the parallel of what our apocalypse would have to a movie or a pop star, in the sense that he does make music. He's known not just in our household, but also in others. And he is known so well that people actually travel to our household like maybe from San Fran or somewhere else to see him perform. And half of the time he has a second persona. Mercury is actually his public persona that is kind of an enemy mask that he's able to put on, and half of the time he's wearing that. The other half, he is like an androgynous person, but he is still like male in a way. About HX, so I have a positive HX with everyone so far. So Lynn and Mercury are kind of known to be lovers. There's 8 that is secretly in love with Mercury, but that's not a two-way street so far. What else can I say? Like, there's one creepy thing about him, that he does have like his musical instrument is a cybernetic, how can I say that? A tentacle chest guitar and amp. You might see that coming up in the session. And he is someone that regularly performs in the Hearthold, but also is broadcast regularly on 8's channel to other Heartholds.
Awesome. Cool. And then do you have any HX that you would normally give like as a default to Woo, or anything you want to choose that you haven't given out before?
As a default, I think there is like because the child thing isn't there anymore, there would be this character is my friend. If
neat.
If you think that could work, even if you're from far away, or even especially if you're from far away, I think that might work. Mick, what do you think about that? We might have history.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds good. I like that. Let's go with that. So I've got.
And your character being a battle babe, I think it might be fitting if you had protected me some way in the past.
Okay. I like that.
Let's get a little more detail out of that. So you protected, was Mercury in Happy Valley, or was Mercury traveling somewhere for performance, or what?
Mick, what do you think about Woo? Is he only around in Happy Valley, or might we have had history somewhere else?
I think it would be cool if it were somewhere else, because
I think so too.
I don't want to necessarily say I've never been to Happy Valley before, but I want to be arriving for the first time in at least a long time, if not for the first time.
That would be so perfect. I would so love for us to maybe go way back before Jonah, that is his normal friend's name, even developed his Mercury persona.
Neat.
I would totally love for you to be someone that that Jonah or Mercury would instantly recognize and feel very safe around. And, had some relationship that he was regretting to have lost.
Okay, nice.
I like it. Awesome. Cool.
I think that also answers, or at least partially answers, one of my HX questions, which is I'm supposed to ask all of the characters who they think, or who I can trust among them. And it sounds like I can trust Mercury.
Yes, Jonah.
That sounds great. Yeah, Jonah. Yeah, we would know each other. You would call me Jonah, and I would call you Woo, if that's fine.
Yes, absolutely.
And maybe you might be interested in. Maybe you might have heard about Mercury, and you might find it funny that, well, this is actually someone you know. It could be something that you find out as you arrive, that this is one and the same person.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. I like it a lot. That's good. That's good. That's good. Man, I love HX. Pablo, tell us about 8.
8 is on the news. His station is on the very top of our Happy Valley building. He's a person that he's a man. He's very tall for being. He's a very tall guy. He wears utility because he's also like a handyman. He repairs stuff around here, makes sure that the electronic broadcast equipment around our building is working. One of the features that most people will recognize that, oh, this is 8, is that he has like a prosthetic arm, like entire arm. It's like a very mechanical and utilitarian mechanical arm. So you would often see like a screwdriver over there or a hammer. So he uses it for also carrying some tools. Yeah, and 8 goal, or what 8 tries to achieve, is that all the settlements in the area somehow cooperate and not fight each other, and this is what 8 is trying to achieve over here through his radio station. And the question I have to Wu is as follows: can I count on you to tell me the truth? No, you're muted. Okay, but I see the answer.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, no.
Yes, I love that, because if 8 can count on you to tell the truth, then it's +1 HX. If you lie, or they can't count on you, then it's +2 HX. I know you better because I can't trust you. I love that. I love that. I love it. Awesome. Okay, that is everyone. What does Wu have to give out?
Well, I just other than Jonah Mercury, who can I'm supposed to ask each of you if I can trust you.
So if you're going to ask Lynn whether you can trust them, I think it depends, because Lynn is very straightforward and functional. So like you can trust most of the time that if your objectives are in line with what you know hers to be, sure, you can trust her. She'll tell you what needs to happen. At the same time, if you are opposing what they want, then you can also trust the fact that that's not going to go well for you, because they will fuck your shit up in order to make sure that they get what they want. And so like, yes, but if you're like, so I guess you can trust their actions regardless of whether or not they go the way that you want.
Trusting them and liking them are two different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's good. Okay.
What about the news?
Yeah, you definitely can trust. So the question is, can you trust me, or can you trust me to tell me that, or can you trust me to tell you the truth?
The question for the battle babe is, can I trust you? Straight up, that's it.
Yeah, you can definitely trust 8. He does what he says he will do.
Okay.
Man, oh, so Giannis, I just want to point out there's a moment I want to make sure. Did we talk about 8 and Zuzu at the end? Did you talk about that in the write-up? I can't remember.
Very briefly, I touched on it on the
Yeah. So I want to make sure and highlight this, because it was one of my favorite little moments. Was so Zuzu is the girlfriend of T-Bone. Remember, T-Bone is the gang leader that was basically set up a little blockade. They dealt with that blockade. You saw that in the write-up. Well, Zuzu's the girlfriend of T-Bone very publicly, but the 8 and Zuzu have possibly something going on the side, and T-Bone was brought into the fold of Happy Valley, and he's getting paid, and he's really digging this, and then Zuzu kind of sneaks off during the second of 2 torture sessions of the game, and Zuzu sneaks into 8 while 8's getting a massage, and they hook up, and he gets a question as his sex move, like he gets to ask, like, do you love me? And her answer was, I don't love anybody. And he was so sad, and I love it because Pavel didn't even take any other questions. Like, what else do I need to know? I'm done. Like, I'm so sad. So, just wanted to remind everybody of that.
Awesome.
Or 8. Dang it, 8. It's just not fair. This should love you. Okay. Okay. Done with HX for Woo.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Pretty simple.
it's interesting that just for the sake of, I mean, I don't. Some of you probably are familiar with Battle Babes, but this is my first time, and I have HX -1 with all of you because I can trust you. Whereas I would have +3 if I couldn't trust you.
Wow, what bunch of
That is so-
trustworthy lot. Oh, Mick, on columns 25 through 29, you can mark that HX. Just, I
Okay.
think you wrote it down, but I'm mean and I want to see it too.
25 through 29. Okay, got it.
Cool. I see you've already gotten your gear and everything like that. All right. We already have the fabulous session report from Yoshi, and what had happened in the last session. As I talked about a little bit already, T-Bone was brought into the fold. That he stopped his little blockade thing. He actually went out and snatched the threat that was going
Dice.
on. Yeah, he snatched Dice. Dice has some weird ability. Like what ostensibly was Dice was summoning the irradiated animals and had destroyed a place named Amigo, one of the smaller holds. It just got overrun. And after Dice was brought in for questioning, it was revealed that Dice doesn't necessarily have control over it and that he's running and that people are just using him like a little harbinger of destruction. And while T-Bone was probably going to attack San Fran, much more of a threat is Colonel. Colonel? Am I saying that? Am I remember that
Colonel.
correctly? Yeah, Colonel, who is the person who's built up 8's gang. He's a big fan of 8. And he is well supplied. He actually, his hold, because Colonel has his own hold, is the police department of Happy Valley. It's the Happy Valley Police Department. And so he has all the SWAT and riot gear and all the guns and Humvees and all the big manly stuff. So Colonel was just sitting right outside San Fran in expectation that Dice was coming to attack San Fran. However, T-Bone intervened, grabbed Dice, and pulled him back to Happy Valley to make some of that barter for Lynn. Now there are things that are coming towards Happy Valley, and they are outside. So as we ended the session, there was a lot of. There's still people who are a bit worried about. Well, is T-Bone's here? What do we do? So the merchants are a bit worried, and we should probably. I need to dial back and make sure to get a description of Happy Valley, like the actual towers for Mick, so that Wu knows what he's walking into. Giant pile of crap. But it's a nice, pretty crap. It's a pretty pile of crap. It's very well organized crap. But so the immediate threat is that Dice is, it's a problem, and you're trying to calm him down. Was the last thing you did. You got him a shower and helped him to calm down, but still there is this kind of present threat that is outside. So that was my slapdash recap of the last session. But Lynn, can you give us a rundown for Wu as to what Happy Valley looks like?
So Happy Valley is like a 12-story like business building, like that's what it used to be, with a metro station underneath the bottom of it. So like it was like a business center. The bottom 3 floors are like this open air atrium where you have like offices on the outside, but like you can like stand on the walkway and look down into the atrium area type thing. And that whole atrium is like the bazaar, and all of the offices on the outside are like more permanent merchants and stuff like that. Like that's where our spa is and stuff like that, and an arcade. And like on some of them, because they were like old like office buildings, it'll say like the office at like the law office of such and such and such and such, and it's just like crossed out with like other names and stuff on there. And so that's kind of like the bottom areas. Once you get past like that whole like lower level, that's where all the residents live, and up above there, like in the old office buildings. And so like there's security. Like part of my hardhold is that I have a gang, which is the security crew, and so like you kind of need some sort of permission. So like random strangers don't go above like that open area. Even above there though, that like in those upper nine floors is residential stuff, but some of them are like just like completely empty levels, like nobody's on there at all and stuff like that. And then we have a rooftop garden, so like that's part of where some of like our food and things happen. And you'll find like Lynn up there on the mornings, like that's one of their like daily rituals is to like go see the sunrise in the morning. But you also see up there is 8's broadcast tower. So like that's like the one of the like big structures on top there outside of the garden. And so that's where you have like the radio antennas and stuff to broadcast things out and things like that.
Excellent. Cool. Okay.
I would like to throw in a little reminder, because I'm not sure if it was in the written handout, that we thought that we spoke that our barter are actually like a ticket printer machine was once found like the operational, and our barter are like tickets with different values, and that's how the barter is like traded. This is the actual ticket with some values.
Yeah, so the farther the ticket goes to, like what it's valid for, is worth more.
Yeah.
So like you got short, like locals versus far and stuff like that.
And it's completely a medium of exchange. Like you can only trade it for barter. It's not like you can hop on a ticket anywhere, which is important to note because most everyone is subterranean when they travel. Traveling up on the streets is dangerous and can get your ass killed. There are a few of the security group that work for Lynn who have vehicles and will go above ground. Mostly it is really bad at names today. Ming. She is one of the crazy people who actually drive outside. And yeah, I think that's all that's up. We've got a few open session moves that we need to resolve. So do you want to go first, Lynn, and then we'll go with news?
Sure, I will go first. So my open starter session is wealth, and I got an 11. So
nice,
awesome. So I've got extra barter, and I don't have any wants at the moment.
Cool. What were the possible wants, just so I can make sure?
Yeah, sure, because you can still push those as hard as you want. Wants. So for the hard hold, we have disease, savagery, strangers, obligation, and hungry.
Strangers. I love that one. It's just not at all terrifying at all.
No.
I'm going to say that calming down dice has gotten you a little bit of breathing room, but that there are a significantly higher number of reports of monsters outside. And so with your wealth, I'm thinking that a lot of merchants are here because they're still nervous about leaving. There are even rumors of stuff in the tunnels. Which is good, but once they run out of stuff and don't have a resupply already coming, that's basically a ticking clock. Something that you need to make sure that they feel safe getting out of here to go get more goods. And then we have 8, who has a very good. This is one of my favorite parts of news because it makes me do work. Like I have to think about stuff.
Before I roll, I would like to ask 2 clarifying questions. First,
yes.
Do I have still the same highlights as before?
Exactly. I was going to ask about highlights.
I love it, you guys, and your rules and your smartiness. Okay, cool. Let's do highlights. Wait, does everybody like their highlights? I like my one. We have to do highlights because we don't have highlights for one of our players. So let's do highlights.
I gotta do a highlight. Yeah.
All right, Will, you get to pick because everybody's -1 with you, so you can choose whomever you wish.
Jonah, highlight me.
Just a second. Let me see what you have there.
A clarifying.
None of us was weird last time. That was
It's true.
Yeah. So how about we see you being weird?
Cool.
That's good. I like that. I chose that stat pack with weird in it just because that got mentioned in our comments over the last week.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Eight, you had a clarifying question you want to ask real quick?
Yes, because for example, Wu has a substitute for going aggro. So if his heart is highlighted, how do we count going aggro? What's your way of doing this?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are other ways to roll hard, but it's something definitely a player should notify the group because it does limit their capability to earn XP. I am going to go and be nice, and I'll highlight cool. It sounds nice, right? But it means that I get to put you in trouble, which is nice for me.
Absolutely.
Right? I like the low-hanging fruit, guys.
So
I'm easy that way.
To run off of what Paulo just said, when I roll cool to go aggro, that's part of the highlight.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, anytime you're rolling the stat for whatever reason, custom move, whatever, you're getting that XP. Fail or pass. It's not like masks. You can succeed and still get the XP.
Okay.
All right. Mercury. Who highlights you? Look on your sheet, see who you have the highest HX with, and tell that person to highlight you.
See, so that used to be Kosh, but now it's Wu. So it's whoever my friend is currently.
Ah, okay. Wow. Be hot for me this session.
Oh, yes. I love that.
I want you to get in a little bit of trouble. I want you to be weird, too.
Oh, yeah. I love that as well. Perfect.
Sweet. 8, who highlights you?
Lynn, please highlight for 8.
What do I want out of you? I think let's highlight your hot.
That's good because that was where I was looking at. Okay. Dang it! I want to see 8 be hard. I want to see 8 be hard this time. Last but not least, Lynn, who highlights you?
Everybody's tied for me at the moment, so let's pick Wu. What do you want to see out of Lynn?
Oh, you're gonna need to be hard.
Okay, sounds good.
I suspect.
I can do that.
I want you to be hot, Lynn. Manipulate, seduce.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. I see a scene with Lynn and Mercury.
I see that too.
Well,
let's go with 8.
Fair, I want the scene to be not Lynn and Mercury, but Lynn and Jonah.
Definitely.
Nice. Turn off the mask. All right. 8, hit me with your opening session move.
It's 10, so there will be a lot of questions to be answered. But
what? Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
We don't have to go with all of them, all 3. It's like up to us. But I would like to ask: are we making like a time skip at least to the morning of the next day, or are we picking up the same evening when the dice was brought here and the monsters attacked?
Are you guys okay if we skip like a week that dice has been? Okay, good. So we're skipping about a week. I want to engage lifestyle as well as a part of that. So please tell me if you're spending like I'm hitting all the mechanics, guys. What? It's like crunchy as hell. What is this? D&D 3rd edition? Okay.
So I have my picks about the NPCs I want to ask about.
Okay.
I think 8 is not aware about Abondo, so I'm not going to ask about him, although I would love to. But I think he doesn't know Abondo exists. Nobody told him yet.
What is up with those people? Not telling the news, important, vital, newsworthy information.
Yeah, so I think the morning news began with like, let's meet some of the common folks living around here. So I want to ask, where is Tom Tom, and what is he up to?
Oh, sweet. Okay. I got to make him a little more less boring. Like, because my first instinct is he's up on the garden, and so I think Tom Tom. Where is Tom? So Tom Tom's gonna still be working on the rooftop garden. That's his job. That's what he does. Like 80% of the day, he lives up there. He gets the nice open air and the sun and all that good stuff. And he has historically been tracking the movements of Lynn and reporting it to T-Bone. And now T-Bone is kind of buddied up with Lynn, and so I think Tum Tum is, well, let's say that Tum Tum has made friends with a member of your crew, 8, and he is currently, God, this sucks because it's going to get reported immediately, but hey, that's what he gets. You're the news. You find out all the dirt. Tum Tum has been keeping track of the movements of Lynn and broadcasting it out on a private channel, but you don't yet know who's on the other side of that channel. Is that fair? Does that feel?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Then I wanted to ask about one more common folk that might be more interesting. Where is Newton, the food merchant, and what is he up to?
Oh man, Newton, the food merchant, with his cabbages and his grapefruits that always get stolen. So Newton is frustrated that someone keeps stealing his produce. And he's hired Visage to watch over his shop and told her specifically, if someone steals anything more, shoot them. Just shoot them. And he broadcast this, like he's gleefully telling you this. And I told Visage that if anyone else steals my grapefruits, she is to shoot them in the head until dead. So twice if needed. I'll pay for the bullets. I've got tickets.
Shoot them in the head until dead.
So I was really curious, like, about Lin Gang and how trustworthy they are. So let's meet the longest, the member who was in the security force for the longest, which I believe is
Jackabacca.
Yes, Jackabacca. So where is he and what is he up to?
Oh man, Jack, this I'm sorry, Lamb. Okay, so Jackabacca, so Jackabacca's run up a pretty high mark at the brothel at this point. And he's just, I'm not satisfied, and he's not paying it. And now the guys who are, let's say the house runs the brothel, just kind of combine it up, right? So the house runs the gambling den, they also kind of run the main brothel. And now the house is talking to Kryn and just trying to figure out, well, what are we going to do about Jackabacca? Well, let's just refuse him service. Well, yeah, then what? So yeah, Jackabacca is kind of putting the screws to the brothel and trying to get free service. That's what he's doing.
Cool. That's my open session move.
That was awesome. Cool. Okay, so why don't we open up with Lynn and Jonah? Do you guys wanted a scene? So let's open up with that. It's first question before we actually dig into the scene. What are you spending for lifestyle? Because I think that'll help us understand where you're at.
I'm not sure, so I'll let Lynn begin. I'm not sure if I had any left.
So I feel like normally I would spend 1, but I feel like in this last week in session, like I'm trying to take care of dice to make sure that they're comfortable and they're calm, because that is supposedly like keeping the monsters away. Like if dice is calm, there's no monsters like coming. So I feel like I spent an extra barter. So normally for the hard holder, their needs are taken care of, but like I feel like I'm spending something extra, so like I'm gonna spend an additional 1 on top of what the normal is.
Okay, I think that makes sense. And yeah, we don't have any track on Mercury's barter.
So I'm not sure about I mean, Mercury's been off of the session the last time.
It's true.
And I do think, like, he was working on a new song for San Fran. He might have had the opportunity to do a performance or 2 in between. So I'd be totally ready to spend at least 1 if that's still around.
How about this? Why don't we say, San Fran, that's a good point. So San Fran was scared shitless before, but then T-Bone took care of Dice. But then there's still that omnipresent threat of Colonel, who obviously has interest to but he's lazy, right? He was going to let dice do all the work. I think San Fran's back at the towers. But let's say that you had the one jingle to spend for your lifestyle, but right now you're kind of making ends meet, but you need to earn some more jingle for next session.
Okay, so that's coming up, right? So I need to really think about doing a good performance that'll bring more people, maybe some additional merchants to the hard hold, so we can kind of tax them. Maybe I'm planning an event. I think that would make sense.
Yeah, San Fran's offered 3 tickets worth of barter if you will come to San Fran, to the San Francisco Towers.
And I'm really considering that. So I'm considering bringing the song I wrote for him, and maybe that could be a really good opener for our scene. Maybe Lynn's trying to convince me not to go.
That's the point,
right? I might put myself into danger, and maybe I really want to, but it's really risky, and I'm thinking that Lynn doesn't really trust San Fran.
I think you're right. Cool. Okay. Where is this at? Is this going to be at Lynn's office / apartment? Is it at Mercury's place? Is it somewhere new?
Lynn, I'll let you decide. I think it could be somewhere intimate, if that works.
Yeah. So I kind of like the idea of it either being like up on the rooftop gardens, like know that's where I go in the morning, and so like you come up there and not necessarily interrupting, but maybe like just as like I'm finishing, like as I would be walking down, like that's where we have that conversation, unless you want to like interrupt me watching the sunset, if that seems more appropriate to you.
Actually, I think it might be appropriate to actually have the scene together, so we could, after we woke up together.
Perfect.
We could have the scene while we were watching the sunset, and I would love for that even to be like a quiet conversation when maybe we don't even look at each other. We're looking at the sun rising, right? Not setting. And we'd look at the sunrise together and maybe talk about last night, but also about like this planned trip to San Fran that you don't really think is a good idea.
Yeah. So I think Lynn is just kind of staring out there, and then maybe they'll break the silence. They're like, so you're planning to go to San Fran. You got an escort lined up yet?
Well, and I like have a little bit of time pass pausing. That wasn't the main thing I was thinking about. I was mainly thinking about what I was going to do as a performance, and I've that worked out.
That's good. That's good. Well, if you need it, I mean, I don't really have the manpower to spare anybody. I mean, with all of the beasts coming in on a regular basis, but I don't know, maybe I can figure somebody out to help if that's necessary. But I mean, it's
Lynn,
so
I know about
hard.
that. I know about that. I wouldn't want you to worry about me one little bit. See, this isn't like a real. It's not a danger trip. I'm bringing new people into our hard hold. And
but
I'll turn over and look you in the eyes when I say our hard hold.
Yeah, and I kind of look back at you, and I'm like, Jonah, it's not that easy. I mean, Happy Valley is a safe place, and I need to make sure that it stays a safe place. That's what people expect from me. Everybody looks to me to make sure. The public, just like the regular people, they just don't understand what I have to do. And like, I totally understand the the out of character. I'm telling you about public personas. Like the public just doesn't understand like what it takes to put on this face to keep everything safe here. And
I totally get you, Lynn. That's why we're together. You provide the safety and security that people need. And you know what I provide? I provide the hope. They need the hope to go on, to look up to you. And I can't really go on doing this if I don't bring fresh, fresh experiences, fresh life, also to other hardholds. They need to see me in person once in a while. I know about the danger of this, but it's what I have to do. And Mercury, or Jonah, touches Lynn's hand. He says, "You see that?"
Yeah. And I kind of like look down. I think what I'm going to do, so Rich, I'm going to ask you because the hardholders sex move, like their special move, is I give somebody a barter with at no cost to myself. So like, I don't know if you want to have triggered it if we're going past the like where we were waking up or something. Right now, regardless of whether or not we trigger it, I think I'm going to hand you a barter because I'm like, here, take this. Make sure that when you're coming back, I'm a little bit less concerned leaving here, but make sure you have somebody to come to escort you back safely when you come back here.
And that with that Jonah will reach over and hug Lynn and like whisper into their ear, "You know, it means the world to me. You know, I'll be back safely. It's in my future." The Maelstrom whispers it to my guitar.
And I, like, you can, like, since we're hugging, like, you can sort of feel me tense a little bit. Like when you say the Maelstrom, I'm like, not that bullshit again.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about all the time, but I can't help mentioning it.
So that was a great RP, but I want to say, was there a manipulate that took place, or do we want to just let the fiction have taken care of this conversation?
In this way, manipulate.
It felt like Jonah was trying to manipulate Lynn to say, "Hey, I'm gonna go do this thing. Let me do my thing." But it also could easily just be the fiction took care of it. You guys had your conversation. We don't have to.
I'll let Lynn decide about that. I wasn't so if she had actually, or if Lynn had said no, Jonah would have still done it. Maybe with approval, but of course he's happy to go with Lynn's approval a lot more.
I definitely, I think there's going to be a manipulate if you want to go. Like, I think you can go regardless of what happens. But like, if you want me to be okay with it, like to be like, I guess, happy that you're going, like that you're doing something with my approval.
I think the premise of
the buy-in. I think you do.
That's definitely what I'm going for. I wanted you to understand that it's good for the hardhold and for the both of us if I bring hope to the other hardhold and bring people back.
Cool. Yeah, so I think
not just this one trip, it actually builds a foundation of this is a thing that Mercury does. Okay, cool. I like that. And it lets you roll hot, which gets you an XP. So
cool. So let me just find the dice and roll it. So this is the and that's a 12 total.
12.
Nice.
Holy crap. That is really good. Sweet. So on a 12, that's a 10 plus because you haven't advanced it. And on a manipulate, you've got the carrot and the stick, actually. So if you go along with it, Lynn, you get to mark experience, and if you refuse.
Yeah. Well, so I think what this is like, because I think we're going to roll up, like going out in general, not just to San Fran Towers, but like going out in like on a tower, like on a tour, more like to like grab other people. Not like maybe you'll go to San Fran and come back, but then you'll go out somewhere else and come back, and that type of like tour type thing.
Yeah.
So I think, you'll get my approval for that. And I'm like, just make sure every time you leave and come back, you've got the tools and the people that you have with you to keep safe, because as much as I want you to bring hope to everyone else, I glance over to the broadcasting tower, like that's right here. I'm like, it's safer here, but I understand and like I grab your hand at this and I'm like, I understand the personal connection that can only happen if you're actually there. And I think with that, like we stand up from like the bench that we're sitting on, and like
Mhm.
we walk towards like the stairs down.
Cool.
I
Thanks.
like
That was an awesome scene.
Yeah, it was a good scene. It was good. It was awesome. Sweet. So 2 XP handed out as well for that cool conversation. Let's roll over and get our new battle babe introduced. So let's see. Mick, you were saying that you wanted Wu to arrive, kind of arrive on scene, right? That's what you.
Basically, yeah. I mean, what I'm imagining from what I know of Happy Valley is maybe I was off doing some kind of a score, got a little bit of jingle, decided, well, I know my old friend Jonah's at Happy Valley and they perform. So I'm going to go there. I've heard some things about it. I'm going to go there. I'm going to spend a little jingle, have some downtime, relax, get away from all of the crap. And so I show up, spend 2 jingle on my lifestyle, or 2 barter on my lifestyle.
Nice.
That
Okay, cool.
I have to come in assuming that I had enough to do that. But let's just say that I got off of a really rough, like mercenary mission or something for some other asshole somewhere else.
Cool. Let's get a little more detail. So was this a mercenary mission? Was this a thing where you had to go out into the wastes to get like a fetch quest kind of thing? You had to go out and get something? Were you covering some people?
Let's say that
ferrying people?
I was sent out by my old boss, Jocular.
Okay.
To fetch his niece and her name was Blue Hat. So I went to get Blue Hat, who had been, I was told, kidnapped. And it got rough. And when I got back with her successfully, basically, it turned out I had stolen Blue Hat, her, in fact, myself, this other group. And now they're all mad at me. And I feel like Jocular betrayed me and manipulated me and used me. So I quit on him. And so now he and his group are mad at me because I walked away to do that. So now I'm just pissed off. I'm mad at everybody.
And you're bringing all your troubles here to Happy Valley.
Nice.
Exactly. And I'm just thinking, that's all I want. I just want some downtime.
And you're just here to relax,
my old
right?
friend Jonah
Hear some good
performs
music.
here. I just want to relax.
Get a massage or rub
lay
down.
low, and maybe well, that's all I want.
All
That's
right.
why I'm here.
How would Wu wind down? Would he go to let's see. So we have a spa, we have a gambling den, we have a brothel, we have just a place where you can go and sleep quietly. You can go among the merchants and just buy stuff, retail therapy.
I might do a little bit of shopping, but mostly I do some sleeping and maybe some gambling. After I've freshed up, my plan is to do some gambling. I'm not so much into the brothel stuff. I might try the spa, but I'm usually not that trusting of people massaging me and stuff like that, and in a hot, steamy room.
Well, fine. Just because you're logical. I mean, that makes sense to me. Why would anyone want that to happen? Gosh, that's crazy. Sweet. So I got an idea then. Just a second. I actually found a picture for Jocular. I'll be throwing that in. I like this character.
I assume from playing with you before that it's cool that I make up characters and throw them in here, right?
Yes. Yes, it's very cool. Especially since I get to use this picture for Jocular. It's gigantic, sorry. Yeah.
And Mick, just so I understand correctly, what's going on is Blue Hat is the niece of Jocular. It wasn't actually Jocular's niece. And you had just kidnapped her for Jocular? Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I understood that correctly.
I was
And then
sent out on a rescue mission,
yeah,
and what I actually did was kidnap somebody.
cool. And then is Blue Hat still with Jocular, or did like how did that split go?
Yeah,
Or do
did you
not
return
know?
her?
I did. No. Once I got her to Jocular, and and she was like kind of reluctant the whole time, saying she didn't want back to Jocular. She didn't want Jocular. But I'm like, I'm doing what I'm told. He's my boss. You can't be this starstruck young woman go off with this pirate knucklehead or whatever. So
Oh, wow.
back and find out to me the whole way through about what I was doing and why I was doing it and who she really is. And so he has now kidnapped her away from this other hardhold and intends to keep her as his plaything. So what should I have done? Probably re-kidnapped her and taken her back where she wanted to go. What did I do? I just said, screw this all, and walked away from everything.
You're totally the threat of strangers. That is the problem with my hardhold. It's you.
Yeah, I am the guy who brings to everybody's door.
Wow. I'm sorry.
All I'm here to do is have some downtime and relax and, get away from it all and lay low.
Oh, that's totally exactly what's going to happen. That sounds
Awesome.
just right.
Awesome. That's what I just want. I just want to, chill.
Okay, cool. So you are, let's say that you're lying on a massage table and you've just gotten a really good massage, like where they've worked out all the kinks, and the masseuse, she was very polite, and to relax, you're in a towel. You've got your weapons nearby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I'm just checking. What kind of weapons does he sport? A handgun, ornate automatic, half hidden blades. Okay, cool.
And I have a stick of some kind that has blades that are hidden that come out.
Awesome. So that's all within reach. Right.
I kind of like the idea that since you have hidden blades,
Yes.
that even though you're on like the massage table and whatever, like you get like the X-ray like view of it, and like you see like you're lying with like a blade underneath the pillow or underneath your chest, like where it's hidden. Like from even here on the massage table, you still have a blade with you, like it's right there.
Right. Yeah, I'm not taking that away from you. Not at all. You're 100% able to defend yourself. Like, you're smart. You do. You're not a foolish thing. Just because you're relaxed doesn't mean you're dumb.
Right. Well, and plus the fact is, I know that people in the fiction don't go around saying, "I actually have more armor on when I'm naked." But,
wait, did you take that? Did you take that one? Because that's the greatest thing ever.
Reflexes.
Yes, you do. That's so great. Oh God, this is so good. Sweet. So the door slides up. I'm thinking, like, this is Hong Kong, but I'm just going to say that there are sections of the spa where they have the sliding door, right? So I think that's cool, right? So the door slides open, and you see a guy who stands about 6'4", and he has very broad shoulder. You've seen him in the gambling den. He was one of those guys that just kind of walks around and makes sure that people aren't causing any trouble. He's obviously their goon, right? Guy's name's Kryn, Krin. He's on the NPCs and places. I used Bolo Young because he's the greatest thing ever. So he comes, he sticks his head in and says, "You're Wu, right?"
Yeah.
He steps all the way in and slides the door closed. Want to make some easy money?
I'm pretty much just here to relax.
You can finish up relaxing. Do this tonight. 2 jingle. Easy money. Twice what we would offer anybody else. My boss wants to know if you're maybe somebody that can work with us in the future. So,
All right. Who is your boss?
the house. He runs the den. He runs the brothel. I mean, Lynn's the figurehead, but the house runs Happy Valley.
Okay.
So cool.
All right. Where do you want me to meet you?
Just come by the den, and I'll let you hear what we're interested in. Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Well, hey, this one's Kratos. Enjoy the massage. He slides the door open, steps back in, out into the hallway.
Okay. Something's weird about that.
What? Like, they've heard about your greatness.
I mean, I'll actually say that to the masseuse.
Oh, yeah. The masseuse, the whole way, she just nervously, when Kryn walked in, she kind of stood in the corner and looked down at the floor and said nothing. Like, I am not here. I do not exist. And when he says gratis, he looks at her and she nods. And then when you say this is weird, she says, "Is there anything else that you would like?"
No, you did great, and it's fine. It's great. It's fine.
She puts her hand on your stomach. Anything?
That's okay. I might as well just get going. And so I'm gonna hand her a jingle.
Okay.
Anyway.
Cool. She looks at it. She said, "He said that it was gratis. That means free. You don't have to pay."
No, yeah, gratis to the house. That's for you.
Oh. Thank you.
And I'll just grab my stuff and head on out.
Okay. So you head back out of the tranquility of the spa. Like, they have, not like white noise generators, but they have very thick walls, right? A lot of the din of that open 3 floors, which can have, a good bit of echo. And there are loudspeakers occasionally that will put on 8 broadcasts of the truth. And it's quiet in the spa. You step out and you're able to look down onto the ground area, the main floor. And of course, they've got the escalators that run up and the elevators that work some days and not others. As you head into the den, I think it would be cool if maybe you catch sight of Jonah. But it's Jonah.
Yeah.
Well, Jonah incognito. Is that cool?
I wanted to find Jonah. That's
awesome.
So, yeah. Can I ask something about that? So with Jonah Incognito, I'm in need of jingle, right? So I might start the tour with a performance right here, and then continue it at San Fran maybe. And I think that could be a great moment for us to meet. If he sees me perform and he recognizes like Mercury from the broadcast, and then we get to meet like backstage or in some way when Jonah makes his preparation to continue the tour in San Fran.
So maybe Jonah is incognito because he's doing stage prep, like he's setting it up for the. Okay, cool, right? So you spot Jonah working on some, like setting up erecting a set, like just doing manual labor and stuff. But I'm going to cut away from that for just a moment because I want to bring in 8 and catch up to him, and then we'll kind of cross cut between these two scenes. Cool. So 8, you've had quite a bit of check-ins with who are the people in Happy Valley. Where today do you think we'd pick up, and what's 8 up to?
I was thinking about a few things.
Okay.
But since I'm also in need of jingle, I'm telling my MC that I would like to work a gig.
Oh, I like when you tell me that. That sounds cool.
Yeah. I thought about a few, but if Mercury wants to travel to San Fran, I think it would be nice that maybe I'll travel with him. But just on the spot, I imagine that I would either. I actually thought that 8 is in the meeting with this mysterious jocular. Yeah, I actually think that 8 is in the meeting with the jocular, and he's not really sure if he wants me, if I will be making announcement on air on behalf of wealthy NPC or brokering deals between NPC and NPC population. So I think that would be interesting to pick up over there, unless you have other plans. I also have some maybe other ideas.
Oh wow! So you're meeting with Jocular, and he wants you to make an announcement on air, right?
Yeah. This is one of the suggested gigs for
no, I'm looking right at it. I love that. I'm just making sure I understand what you're asking for, because I think that is pretty cool.
That's a new power player. So I think I'm not sure if he's stationed over here or if he came here, and I suppose 8 also doesn't know what he really wants from 8. So we have a meeting either in some undisclosed location or maybe in the sauna room, like a Russian-style mafia, sauna room, everyone in the towel, some bodyguards with obvious weapons, and then 8 and Doom.
God, that's great. That's awesome. I'm leading right into that. So yes, Jocular is here, not far away from our good friend who just quit on him, but that's okay, right? That's just happenstance. Jocular's there. He's in a towel. There's sweat pouring off of both you guys. Do you keep I imagine you still wear the arm in the sauna, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like one of the models that are it's integrated with the meat, so it's not really detachable.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. And it's not like it's like stainless steel or whatever. It's not like you put on it and all of a sudden it's all rust up, right?
Yeah, I imagine it's like not a shitty quality.
Okay, cool. So this guy's here. He's got his bodyguards, but otherwise he's alone. It's not like he has a lackey inside the room with him. And you come in, he stands up and offers you a hand. He's wearing a towel, but otherwise nothing else. He's in good shape. You see there are a number of scars, bullet scars, and there is also there's a pretty killer looking tattoo that kind of comes over, and you can see that the tattoo's mouth kind of opens up, and it really, if the mouth closed down, it would bite his nipple off, but it looks cool. It's nice. You can see the scales. They also have like a golden glisten to them, so there's some kind of really expensive ink that must have been used there.
Mm-hmm.
He says, 8, I am a big fan of your show. All of your
pleasure to meet you.
No, pleasure's mine. Pleasure's mine. Listen, I've got an announcement that I need to make, and I want to get it out to all ears.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that for a generous donation to your station that you would help me get that out.
What is that's definitely possible. What is the announcement you would like to make? I just would like to state that before it is said that my station doesn't like announces open wars and stuff like that. We usually try to make people come together than separate them. So if you have something that plays right into it, I'm definitely can come to an agreement.
Absolutely. I understand. Like I said, I have listened, and I know you don't try to foment any problems between the gangs, and that's good. You tell the truth and you don't angle it. That's what I need, because I just need that neutral party who's really going to get the truth out, because I need to reach out to someone who doesn't want to listen to me.
Hmm.
And so if you could if we could broadcast, and I'd like it come from you, right? Because again, they're not listening to me.
Hmm.
I have rescued a person who needs to go home.
Hmm.
Her name is Blue Hat,
Hmm.
and she's very important to a person by the name of Colonel. I understand that you are friends with Colonel.
I am.
I need you to broadcast to all ears that I have Blue Hat, and I'd like to return her to the Colonel, but I'm really worried that he won't listen to me.
Why are you afraid Connell wouldn't listen to you personally?
We haven't been friendly in the past. Our first meeting, there was a misunderstanding. It was
Shots fired,
mostly,
kind of misunderstanding?
yeah, shots fired. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I have an employee by the name, well, I had an employee by the name of Wu, and it's really his fault. He's no longer working for me, and I'm hoping that that can build a bridge to fix things with Colonel.
So if I may ask, to make a proper announcement. So you are saying that this Wu person kidnapped the Blue Hat, and you retrieved the Blue Hat, and you want to return her to Colonel.
Yes, that's exactly what I want to say. You can phrase it however you think will best reach Colonel.
I understand. But I would really like to know, like, what does he really intend to do with this, like, his relation between? Because I sense tension over there. Like, maybe be slightly dishonest. I would really like to know, like, what does he really intend to do over here?
Cool. Are you trying to read a person here?
Of course.
Awesome. Well, why don't you roll it and let's see how that pans out.
That's a 9 because I have +1 sharp.
Ooh,
So
so close to the 10, but you still get one question.
plus extra if your character is telling the truth, but I will hang with that from my move. So yeah, what does your character really intend to do over here with this entire exchange announcement?
Yeah, I mean he's looking for some concessions from Colonel. It's obvious that Colonel, he's the big dog. He has he's the best armor, he has the best weapons. He is the military force of the Happy Valley area. And it is very obvious to you. You know how to kind of sniff out the crap from the real. That this guy Jocular is trying to get some kind of concession out of Colonel, and using Blue Hat and returning Blue Hat to him as a, an offering chip. Yeah.
Well, I'm really down on Jingle, so yes, I understand the situation. Yes, I think that this is something that Station 8 can definitely help you in reaching out to make a peace, or maybe at least a hopeful bloodless exchange between you and Colonel.
I'm not asking you to negotiate for that aid. I know that's not your job, but this olive branch that you are offering as a neutral party will go far. I am very thankful. I'm willing to offer. Here, I'll hand you tickets as soon as I didn't want to get them wet, right? But my associates will give you some tickets equal to half of what I've offered. And the second jingle will be yours as soon as my ears hear the broadcast.
Of course. now that I'm here, I will just, if you just allow me to few minutes to relax in this wonderful sauna, and then I will go and make it happen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Aid. I'm a fan. This has been a pleasure. And he reaches over and he pats your knee, and then he'll get up and head out of the sauna and leave you in the nice steamy sauna. And we'll cut away from that back to I think as soon as you see Wu, I imagine you're approaching Jonah, right?
Yes.
Cool. Right. So there's a bit of a din because you have to set up the stage where most people can see it, right? And you're trying to tie into the loudspeakers. You know, there's some kind of weird, funky wiring. You know, if Kosh were here, they could probably hook up the wiring for you and crawling down into the ductwork and the like. But you're just gonna have to make do because nobody's seen Kosh over the last few days. And you're working this. I think it'd be cute if you have a hammer, Jonah, like you're kind of nailing away, and that's when Wu comes up. So Wu, what do you say when you come upon your friend Jonah?
I think it's been years, right? What
Could be.
Yeah, okay. A long time. Cool. So I think you noticed me first.
You look good.
So yeah, I'll turn around and I'll drop the hammer right on my foot. I'll go, ouch, oh my God. What is?
Whoa, relax. Just me. How's it going?
And yeah, so I'll recover myself pretty quickly. But yeah, I'll open my arms and I'll hug you. Like, wow, Woo, that's a surprise. It's been, how long has it been? It's been years. I haven't seen you in since the San Fran job. I haven't seen you.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been, out and about doing odd jobs.
Is that a new scar right there on your neck?
Yeah.
Wow, how'd that happen?
Got that a few months ago.
Looks like it's been a close call.
I get a lot of close calls. People think you can trust. You don't trust. It just is a thing. Part of the job. But you, J-Kid, you look good. I heard you were doing pretty good here.
Thank you. I'm actually doing pretty good. Yeah.
So you hang around this place a lot, huh? You're pretty familiar with what's going on here?
Oh yeah. Actually, I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm sharing a bed with a heart holder, and I'm just setting up the stage. You want to join? I mean, you're totally welcome. Yeah, I'm normally, I charge people a lot for my performances these days. It's not like back when I was just dabbling. I got this new gear here, and I'll unfold the tentacle guitar. Maybe I'll scare him a little bit with that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll definitely do that.
I'll pull the trigger on the necklace that I have, and I'll put on the Mercury persona. You might have seen that on a broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of heard that maybe, okay, now see, I'm putting all the pieces together. This is,
See, and I'll go back to Jonah and I'll say, this is actually the start of a tour that I have in mind. So
wow, really?
If you're not doing anything in particular, you wanna I could reserve a seat in the front row for you if you want, and if you want, we can hang out later. That would be awesome. I would so love to catch up with you.
Yeah, I'd love to catch up with you too, man. That would be awesome. So, hey.
You haven't been getting into any trouble lately, have you? So I'm kind of recalling that when last we met, there was something going on.
Well, there's always something going on. I got one question for you, since you are familiar with the way things go around here.
Sure. Ask away.
I just had a little bit of a conversation with a fellow named Kryn.
Yeah.
Who says he's working for the house, and the house was interested in having a conversation with me later this evening.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
And I'm wondering, see, I'm already starting to get a little bit of flavor off of you as to the nature of what they might be up to. So, yeah. What do you know about these people?
Okay, so Rich, with your permission, I'll just make this up, okay? And you'll tell me if I contradict anything.
Okay, go for it.
So I'll say, well, the house. Yeah, he thinks of himself as kind of a big shot. So, well, just so you know, the real power around here is Lynn. And it's totally cool for you to work like small jobs, but make sure you don't cross her, because that could kind of give you a second scar, and maybe it'll not work out as well as last time. I'm giving you, like, I'm not warning you. I'm just like giving you my advice as a friend who cares for you deeply.
That's what I wanted. That's what I was hoping for, and I very much appreciate.
As long as you don't cross Lynn, you're totally cool, and I would really welcome you to stay a little longer. I hope it's not just for hanging out for a week or so.
No, hey, if you want me around, I mean,
I would so love. I've been missing you, man. And I pat your shoulder.
Yeah.
We had good times.
You know, it's really refreshing that you're so friendly and open. I don't get a lot of that these days. So, yeah, thanks. It's good to see you, J.K. I'm glad that things are going well for you.
They are. Just you watch. You see, you'll have some good energy here.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came.
Front row. Can't wait.
Cool. So as the two of you guys are kind of wrapping up your conversation, you hear from behind you, like near the escalator, you hear a bit of commotion, and then one of the women screams like, and there's a couple of gasps. And when you guys look around, Visage, who is on NPCs and places, the one Caucasian in all of Happy Valley, she has just thrown someone to the tiled floor and is twisting their arm back, and it looks like she just flipped them over, and Newton is standing there like, yeah, no, shoot him in the head, and Visage is looking around like, I'm not too sure about that. And you see, Jonah, you would recognize some of the current security force of Lynn's people. They're moving that way. What do you guys do?
So I'll just give Wu a weird look. So, and I think that's probably more Lynn's business than mine. So as long as they're not, seems someone was been stealing, someone's been caught red-handed. So I kind of just try to ignore it. Yeah, but I'll give a look to Wu and see if how he's reacting. How he's like, is he falling into his meddling ways back again, or?
I look at, is this the kind of thing that goes on around here all the time? You know, because I was hoping for a little bit more low key. Although she's impressive, that takedown was impressive. I got to admit that.
Yeah, you know, sometimes people need to be shown their place.
Yeah.
Sweet. What you see then is that the girl, Visage, she did not shoot this guy in the back of the head, but she does twist his wrist and break his arm. And he falls to the ground, kind of falls into a fetal position. He's moaning in pain. And I'm not going to have Ming, like, I don't want Ming to be the omnipresent security guard. I think it's going to be Jacobacca, right? Jacobacca rolls up and he grabs Visage by the shoulder and he pulls her up off of the guy and looks down, and it's just, he's saying some stuff. I don't think necessarily you guys are in earshot, right? But he says a few words and he kind of shoves her away and then walks up to Newton, and the two of them get into a heated discussion. He grabs Newton by the collar and he kind of pulls him away, and then now he's talking at both of them. It must be handled. Must be okay.
Yeah, it's all taken care of. No need to get involved. Lynn's got this, right? That's her crew right over there. Both the security, all fine, peaceful.
Okay.
Nothing to see here.
I am gonna keep it. That's the woman. the woman who took care of the situation over there. What's her name?
Visage, was it, right? So I do recognize her. I'll see. Yeah, that's Visage. She's been hired to keep an eye on the foodstuffs, so nothing gets stolen.
Oh, she's impressive. All right, I'll let you get to your
I could.
setup.
I mean,
and,
did you mean anything by that?
well,
I could
just,
only set up a conversation if that's what you're.
Oh, it might be yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
you
okay.
had that look
Thanks.
about you. I was just making sure.
People aren't supposed to know me as well as you know me. Sometimes I worry about you.
As you should.
If anybody wanted to screw me over, you'd be the person they could come to. It's a good thing I trust you.
That's very
You're
good.
not gonna, yeah. All right, I'll let you get to your stuff. I'm gonna go relax a little.
Yeah, and get a drink on me as well. So get yourself comfy. You're very welcome.
Everybody's trying to give me stuff gratis around here. It's kind of nice. Thanks, pal.
Kind of rough, but free stuff.
Always.
You know what can you? Cool.
All building
I'm
up to the big turn.
Cool. Is that feels like end scene? Is that it's kind of
Yeah, it does to me. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
Awesome. I'm going to take five. Let's take a $5. We're kind of at the halfway point for the session, and so I'll see you guys in 5 minutes for a bio break and the like.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
So many small problems everywhere I'm gonna have to go deal with.
Oh, the whack-a-mole that is Happy Valley. Sweet. Let's spin back up then. Before we do, right, clear dice. Otherwise, I'll get all excited thinking you rolled 10s and 8s and everything. I do it every time. I'll know it, and then I'll look down, and I'll look back up. I see the numbers, and I'm like, "Oh wow, you rolled great!" No, Rich, that was from before. Dang it. Anything I want to make sure while we kind of dial into the second half of the game, anything in particular people want to make sure that they get on screen?
Yes.
What's that?
So I would love to kind of see the performance just quickly, maybe just a roll, so I can get Jingle and get the tour started. What I would love,
Okay.
I don't know if other people agree, but what I would love is kind of to see like the monsters that are outside. I think the opportunity would be there if I can get a party together to go to San Fran or something. That is just like a suggestion. It doesn't need to happen this session.
Yeah, I definitely want to reveal that threat. I think that's cool. So I'm right with you on that.
As 8, I would just like to have some more opportunity to interact with other player characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I haven't interacted
action
with
was just
it at all.
On 8, so
+1 for me.
Cool. Okay. What about Lynn?
So like I feel like there's a bunch of like small fires that I need to put out. Like I feel like I almost want a whole bunch of like really like small scenes. Like they don't have to be like big things, but like to deal with like, so like the things that I think Lynn needs to deal with are need to deal with the fact that Jocular, a warlord, is here who's causing shit. I have to deal with Jackabaca because he's kind of a pain in the ass right now because he thinks he's going to get everything for free and he really can't. I also feel like I have to like with the Jocular thing, like dealing with Blue Hat. If Blue Hat is here, then the Colonel's going to be here and that's a problem. And then there's also all of like Tum Tum, like especially if that got announced, I have to like go talk to Tum Tum at some point. And then like I also want to talk to Dice because Dice is still bringing like people like monsters here. So like I need to like make sure like I just want to like a small like just like me and like Dice interacting slightly. So it's like just calm down. Is there anything else that like that type of like scene? Just so like there's something there of me trying to do something about it. And then like I almost want to like it's funny because 8 said that they were making this announcement for their gig. That's almost what I wanted to talk to 8 about was like getting people here like to make like not a coalition like a summit type meeting here of like of hardhold like of people of power type thing to deal with stuff. So I kind of want to see that, but I don't know. Like that also at the same time sounds like it might be a something that we can make the movement towards it, but not like the summit of, like of summoning people.
Yeah, I think
here.
summit's a session 4 thing, but I really like that idea.
Yeah, like doing something like that, but setting that up so that it could come in later.
Nice.
And I have an idea for a scene with 8 and Mercury. So we could just like maybe do some advertising for the tour together if we're planning that.
Nice. I like all of those. Those are really cool.
I know I can't get to all of those, but like there's just so many things that I need to deal with. So
you forgot the fact that you've got one merchant who's hired his own thug and just broke the arm of a customer from outside of Happy Valley, but like outside of the building who came in. So that's
I kind of want to see like if we like roll back slightly. So like when all of that happens and the camera is looking at Visage like over somebody and like Newton is there like cheering them on. In the background, you see Kosh's hand like just reach up and grab another fruit and walk away like in the middle of all of that. And then, like
absolutely. Yes. That might have been more on screen if they gone in and engaged, but yeah, that's perfectly absolutely happens. A couple hands come up, and then grapefruits go away.
Eight was actually also thinking about going to talk to Tom Tom, so that's like two scenes where Eight can go with Lynn to deal with Tom Tom, or Eight would also like to get a scene with Mercury in the radio station.
Cool. So here are the things that I see. I definitely want to engage Wu. I think Wu as possibly someone traveling with Jonah out into the monstery wasteland sounds cool to me. Especially since I think Lynn set it up perfectly. Like, here's some extra jingle. Make sure you hire some protection. So I feel like we've set that up. I almost want to like GM Fiat and say that that's a thing that we'll do, but I don't want to necessarily like that. I'm waiting for that conversation to kind of sort of happen, but it didn't necessarily happen. But I think we can establish that probably would have happened.
Cool? Absolutely.
Sweet. All right, awesome. So
Jonah asks, I say yes. Yeah, so absolutely.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. So yeah, good. This is good. I'm excited. I love having too many scenes for the amount of time we have, right?
I just want to relax. I just want to have downtime.
Sure.
And enjoy my time at the spa.
And that's definitely what I'm planning to give.
But seriously, character. Just I don't have any specific agenda, even as a player, other than just the idea that if Wu shows up as an ancillary to any of these scenes that happens, maybe I involve myself, maybe I'm just there, because I just want to kind of be there and supportive and see what emerges.
Oh, man. All right, here's what we do. Let's pick up on the roof with Lynn and 8 heading to have a conversation with Tum Tum. Just so happens, Wu, that you've been told this is a very relaxing place. You're on the same bench that we had in the first scene.
Yes,
just
perfect.
Relaxing. This is beautiful, right? I mean, sure, if you look down close, you can see that there's a Gargathon that's tromping through the racetracks, and you can see Dust Witch racing away from the Gargathon. But, look out across the harbor, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And so, sorry, go ahead.
I would like to introduce the scene to be a little more spicy, so to throw in a conflict with 8 already in the scene, if I may.
Yeah, what's 8 doing in the scene?
So we pick up, like, Len we didn't come together with Len. Len is walking on the scene, and we see, like, the other side of 8. 8 just holds Tom Tom and his pistol to his chest, and it's like kind of like interrogating him.
Sweet. So this is a follow-up to what you have found, that Lynn is this.
I found that Tom Tom is reporting on Lynn's movement to someone.
Right, and the way he's reporting it is he's basically jumping off your station and sending out on a private channel. So one of your guys, did they roll on Tum Tum and give up this information, or did they just come and say, hey, by the way, just so you know, this guy's doing this? How did that go?
I think I've seen radio transmissions being registered, because one of my gangs is probably letting him slip into the radio station and do it because he's bribed. So I don't know who from my gang is actually being bribed.
No, okay, so you don't know who it is. All right.
Yeah, but I've seen on the recording equipment that some transmissions were going out, and then maybe he left something that indicated that it is him. So I'm here to find out, like aggressively find out.
I love it. Yeah. So you've already broadcasted out that Tum Tum's doing this thing. Then you come up there and you want to get more details. And is this on air?
No. I think it's not air. It's
okay. Is Doom with you?
Yes, Doom's with me. And then I imagine Lane was also coming here with the same purpose of getting the information. Then he finds us like already on Tom Tom.
Sweet. I imagine you've got Tum Tum up against one of the rails that kind of overlooks. Maybe it's not the rail that goes all the way off, but I'm imagining it's kind of terraced, right? Maybe we got a level, and there's a level right above it, which is where the station is. So we have, as we come in, the camera's kind of catching the shadow of the station tower, and you have Tum Tum pushed up against the rail and a gun to his chest, and he did not see this coming. He has grimy, dirty hands from digging into the garden, and he's kind of holding your arm, not to, like, he would love to push you away, but you're stronger than him. Oh, are you holding him down with the cybernetic arm? And then the
Of
gun,
course, like cybernetic arm, like over here, and then gun in the real
that's
hand.
awesome. Okay, I love the picture of this. Yeah, so he's holding onto the cybernetic arm. It's far stronger than he is, right? He is a
strong.
farmer at his heart, and a spy, evidently. But that's more recent. And yeah, you put the, he's like, you can have the turnips.
Listen, Tom Tom. I know that you have been sneaking into my radio station and broadcasting to someone. Now, I have come here for you to make a confession. To whom and what have you been reporting? And this is my tool of trade. So just that you know, it's loaded. And I expect you to start talking now. To whom have you been reporting something about Lynn? No, yeah, to whom have you been reporting? Let's start with that one.
I want to see you go aggro, right? I want to see how this rolls out. This is hard. I
Do
love it.
We want to have Lynn already in the scene so he can?
I think
interrupt,
Lynn, you're
or-
going to walk upon this as you're rolling dice, right? So go ahead, and
Yeah.
8 gets to roll the hard dice as a +1 for you.
Yeah, so like just where Lynn is, I think Lynn walks up on the scene, and I think because Doom's standing guard to like
Yeah.
look for people to come up there, and like as like I see them, and like Doom like looks at me, like I just give Doom that like knowing like yeah I'm coming here, and like we like exchange nods and looks, and like I'm not like threatening, but I just like go and stand by Doom, like not like getting further closer to it, is like standing by Doom looking at the scene going on there, just like waiting for it to play out, like all right, yeah, this is what happens sometimes people have to deal with the consequences of their actions. And
Nice.
so I'm just like standing silently.
And just to
Okay,
add,
I just want to clarify something. This is on the roof,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sitting on a bench
Uh-huh.
not far from here.
you're like
Yes.
10 feet
looking
away.
out of, and then all of this is going on over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love how
Okay.
every scene that the Battle Babe is in somehow involves violence.
I love that the Battle Babe has not brought violence upon anyone yet. It's great.
Yep.
I'm just sitting on the bench watching all this. Yes.
Man, sweet. And I want to add one slight little detail. When Doom sees Lynn come up, he just gives like a real low whistle. It's just a kind of thing, and it's a signal the 8 knows, like, hey, somebody's here, but I've got it. That's his whole thing. Just want to add that little detail in. Awesome. So you've rolled an 8.
8.
Cool. So it's the Colonel. It's the Colonel. He wanted to know. He wanted to know what's going on in Happy Valley. Listen, I was cut off. Okay, I've got things I have to pay for, and this doesn't pay shit. This is a terrible job. I'm
think,
sunburned
like-
all the time.
I think like the pistol is like slightly pushed in, slightly like more, like an inch more. And are you telling me the truth right now?
Yes, I swear. He's paying me on the side, and all I have to do is just tell him where Lynn's going, and what Lynn's up to. And I really don't have much to give, right? All I know is what everybody knows. It's not like I sneak into Lynn's office or, oh, hi, Lynn.
Yeah, I think like as like he sees me, like I look at Doom, like I'm just walking up to it, but like just making sure that Doom's not like gonna shoot me in the back as I like walk closer to them. But it's sort of the like I'm giving Doom the respect of like you're the bodyguard, like this is your job, like type thing, like
Yep.
that type of respect. And then I walk up closer to 8 and Tum Tum, and I'm like, look, if that's all true, that you're giving the Colonel information about me and where things are going, maybe we can keep up the facade for a little bit longer. Maybe give him some false information. Lead him someplace that gets him exposed. If he's so interested in these things, there's problems that are going around, and I don't know, maybe we can use this to our advantage.
Come on, Len, you really want to like play a double agent here? This guy is a clear spy. We don't need a spy in our ranks.
I'm just a gardener. I'm just a gardener. I'm not a spy. All I do is I just tell him the stuff that I see. That's it. That's not being a spy.
You just
Tum Tum.
admitted to be sneaking into Len's office.
No,
That's
I expressly
serious
said
stuff.
I'm not going into Lynn's office. Why would I do that? That's crazy.
Tum Tum, you said that you didn't like working here as a gardener. It's a terrible job.
All the jobs are terrible jobs, unless you're
Right.
like Mercury. Mercury doesn't have to do anything.
Oh, Mercury has to do lots. It's just a different set of skills that, frankly, you don't have, Tum Tum. You couldn't do what Mercury does. But if this is such a terrible job, is there another job you want to do instead? Do you want to be one of my security guards who stands out there against the beasts, fights with a knife in hand, with a gun, against those that are coming in to protect everyone? Is that a better job for you? Because if you want, I'll put you out on that detail. That's yours if you want it. You don't have to be up here gardening. You can stand there with a gun fighting off beasts if that's what you want.
No, I don't want that job. I can't even shoot straight. I would get killed. I'd rather stay here. I would rather stay here.
We can't have you disseminating information like that. It's a problem. So there's going to need to be some repercussions for what you're doing. I think that we need to figure out, do you know why the Colonel wants my whereabouts and what's going on with my movements?
No, I can find out. I'll find out for you. I'll find out for you, Lynn. I'll find out and tell you the truth about what Colonel wants. Colonel, I'm sure it's nefarious, and I should tell you. I'll find it out.
I kind of like look at 8 a little bit, and I'm like, look back to Tum Tum. I'm like, that would be good. Find out why the Colonel wants my information. I mean, maybe he's just jealous, but if he's planning something, I want to basically be ready and make sure that whatever he's planning on against Happy Valley doesn't succeed. Because remember, Tum Tum, that here we try to do whatever we can, and like I kind of like gesture at like the whole of Happy Valley, and I try to make this as safe a place for everybody. And as much as the Colonel is paying you right now on the side, I'm pretty sure that the folks here are happier than the folks at the Colonel's place. And if the Colonel gets his way, there's not going to be the same level of luxury here with the Colonel in charge. I just want you to remember that what we do is really for you and for everyone else.
I understand that. I understand that. Now, thank you, Lynn. I'll find out what the Colonel wants, and
I think when he says that, I kind of like look to 8 and I'm like, you've got this. Like, make sure. And I look at Tum Tum like, work with 8 here. No more off-session broadcasts without his knowledge. He knows what's going on. Find that information, and maybe things can stay luxurious for you.
Okay. Right.
And I think with that, I just kind of like step back, and like step back from it, so like I'm not imposing, and then maybe like I look over to see Wu on the bench, and like just now realize Wu is there like the whole time.
The whole conversation.
Yeah, the whole conversation. And I think I'll walk towards Wu at that point, but we'll let Aiden finish that.
I think that before 8 releases him, he must be sure that TomTom was properly persuaded and that he intends to do as he said.
Okay.
Like, what was his body movement? Was he trying to lie to us or not?
He is not lying because he feels like you could smell it on him. He's good at being physically. He is confident that he's okay at being kind of sneaky, but he's not very good at lying. So yes, he is telling the truth. He has been feeding this information to Colonel. Yes, he is telling the truth that he doesn't actually know what the Colonel wants to do with it, although he can kind of assume the Colonel, being super aggressive, wants to find out a way to take out Lin. But that's so obvious that TomTom doesn't think that's holding a secret. Like, that's just what he does. That's what the Colonel does. And of course, Front, he's a big fan of yours, right? But everybody knows that. So yeah, he hasn't lied. He probably is going to do what he can to find out what the Colonel wants, but at the minimal amount of risk to himself.
Very well. I just like holster the pistol. I just put him like to straight. I just brush him so that he looks like fresh, and put my mechanical arm around him and just, cool, now let's just go and talk. How are we going to do it? I will give you a few advices. And I'm just kind of turning. I'm just also seeing Wu over there, Lin walking. So I will leave these two to have a discussion, and we just go off the scene.
Nice, cool. Yeah, when you pull him out, he's like, yeah, so just so you know, I thought this was official, right? I thought it was a private channel because one of your guys hooked me up. And so I knew you knew. I didn't know that you knew that you didn't know. Just so you know.
Now that you mention it, which one of them let you in? I need to know.
Nice. So you guys are the ladies. It was Mill.
Mill.
Yeah, Mill. It was Mill.
Good.
Right. So you should probably be mad at Mill, but I thought I was doing the right thing. I need to garden. I should get to
Did Mill
garden.
also tell you to do this, or how did you get in contact with Colonel in the first place?
Oh, well, so the Colonel has people in Happy Valley, and you can just reach out to Colonel through the people. And I used to do this stuff before with T-Bone, but T-Bone doesn't want any more information on Lin because they're friends now. And so I needed some money. I needed some jingle. And so I reached out to Colonel, and he took me up on it. And Tom mentioned it to Mill, and we split the money. And then we've been broadcasting for just a little bit, just like hardly anything. Hey, here's Lin and Mercury again. They're hooking up. Hey, Lin is making a walkthrough and shaking everyone's hands. See, it's not even dangerous. Who cares? This is the most boring stuff. Is easy money. Would you like to split it 3 ways, 8? And we could just keep going with that.
Unlike you, I know where my allegiances are. But now that you mention it, I would be very interested into also getting in touch with Colonel. So who do I go to?
Oh, Newton.
You can tell me. We are almost partners now.
Right. You can talk to Newton. He knows how to get in contact with the Colonel.
Great. So here is the information you're gonna feed to the Colonel on your next transmission, and I just
Okay.
like make up some stuff and just
Sure.
Tell-
He's oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, no doubt. I'll get this right to Mill, and we'll broadcast it as soon as you want. Like I can do it now. I really need to water the over there, that sector grid 43. I need to water that, but I can do it right after.
Yeah, I think that will be good. And here is the question you're going to ask to your contact to find out why Colonel wants this information. And just like suggest him some tricky questions, how to talk with the responder to maybe get some information and then pass it to us.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he takes very good notes, and he is your guy now. Tumtum's all about working for 8. Okay, cool. So, Lynn, you made your way over to Wu as the two of them walked off, Tum Tum and 8.
So I think I'm gonna walk up silently to Wu, to you on the bench, Wu. And like, unless you want to like greet me or anything, like I'm just gonna like walk up silently and like literally like sit on the bench, almost like a mirror of what was happening like in the first scene of like looking
Oh,
out
nice.
over, and sitting next to you, and like. If you don't say anything, like I'm just gonna sit there for like a beat or two, just waiting. And then if you don't say anything, then I'll start conversation. But I want to give you the opportunity to say something or
Yeah.
do something else if you want to.
So without looking at you, I just, you sit next to me. We're both staring out over the city. And I say, ambition. Boundless ambition. That's the Colonel. But I suspect you already know that.
Oh, I do. You're Wu, right?
That is me. You're Lynn?
I am. I'm guessing you know somebody. Think Mercury was the one who let you up here on top of the rooftop garden, or got you through security.
Yeah, Johan and I are old friends.
Yeah.
Kid speaks pretty highly of you.
Jonah's good people.
Mm-hmm. Seem to run a pretty nice place around here. Must be hard to juggle.
I look around it, and I think at that, like I you see me like do like a mental like calculation, like some tell that like I'm thinking through of all the other people I have to go talk to and deal with. But like that, like some sort of like small tell as I'm doing them, I'm like, yeah, lots of people, lots of needs, and nobody really appreciates for how much work goes into running an efficient shop like this. At least that's what it feels like.
I sure couldn't rise to it.
People are capable of some pretty amazing things.
Hmm. Well,
You're
hey,
just here
thanks
to
for your hospitality anyway.
relax, hang out.
Downtime.
You've got some familiarity with the Colonel, right?
Yeah, I actually do. I'll be straight up about it. I used to work for Jocular. He had me do an op against the Colonel. Turned out Jocular wasn't really straight up about what the op was really about.
Yeah,
And
Jocular's
now I've,
never straight up.
Yeah. I think I wound up pissing them both off. So that's why I'm here laying low for a while.
Well, you're welcome to stay. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm looking into having a little summit here in Happy Valley of all some of the major players. Colonel was going to come here. Jocular's going to be here. San Fran's going to be here. Everybody, all the people of power. I'm going to hold a little summit to try to get things going. Sounds like you might have some enemies in that.
Well, might have some friends too.
Well, that's good. Just little friendly advice. While you're here in Happy Valley, try not to make a whole lot of trouble, because it's one more thing I have to deal with, and the more things I have to deal with, the less conciliatory I tend to be. So if you want to figure out a way that maybe you can make amends with those that maybe don't see you in the right light before that happens, or even take this summit as an opportunity for you to make those amends, I'm all for it. Just make sure that it doesn't cause me problems, because if it does, well, let's just say I didn't become hardholder and leader here only because I can talk to people.
Understood.
And I think I stand up and like I kind of like, you're welcome to stay up here, watch the sunrise, sunset. They're beautiful. Something about the clouds and the way the sun goes through at the horizon. You get some excellent colors, but as you probably guessed, I've got things to go deal with right now. So enjoy yourself, and I'm sure I'll see you around.
Thanks again.
I just kind of nod and kind of like walk off back towards it down, because now I gotta go find some other people.
Or so after he walks away,
Yeah.
before we go to black, I'll say out to the world, just try not to make trouble. That's exactly the way that I always get into the most trouble. That's the problem.
Perfect.
Nice.
Just want some downtime.
Cool. Let's jump a little bit of time to the performance for monies. Yeah, and we can make this kind of a quick thing. Maybe we're halfway through a song. What does the stage look like? Like, what's the setup that you see for Mercury as they perform?
So I would see it as some sort of thing that people, if properly announced, would come from other hard holds too. So it's not something that they do every day. So maybe once in a month or something that people look forward to. That ticket sales are there. That I think vendors are there to sell fruit and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it's like maybe a build up to a party that people are going to have. So they feel like more secure, better about themselves. They don't need to think about the monsters outside and stuff. So people will get drunk. They'll get excited. They'll have fun. And it's one of the attractions that I imagine Happy Valley having over other hard holds. And the stage may look improvised, but we have this operation going for a while, so it's also an attraction. So I think people are up for having a good time. It should be like a good mood.
Cool. Then I'm going to say that you earn a jingle, but on top of earning a jingle, you get a invitation from Jocular, who would like to spend some private time with you, and that could earn you some more jingle.
I'm up for it. I need some jingle. I need to buy protection to get out of town.
Nice.
You were going to say
just ask Woo. He'd do it free. He's crazy that way. All right. Hold on a sec, guys. I'll be right back. Give me a sec.
Mm-hmm. Were you going to say something?
I wanted to ask you: is it being recorded by Aid and transmitted? Your live performance.
Perfect. Yes, I think that would be perfect. I would so much like maybe if we could have like a little scene where we talk about that, so we could make kind of a trailer for the tour from that performance.
So it was recorded, but not yet played, and then we can have a scene in the studio where we actually play it and make an announcement.
And we could like maybe send specific messages to some of the other hard holds, like watch out for Mercury, he's coming your way, and get your tickets while you still can, and all of that, and maybe have some even like a little crew that we could film on the set.
Uh, I suppose it's me and Doom filming.
Yeah,
I don't have more
perfect.
crew.
No, I meant like a crew that is going to provide safety for Mercury as he travels, and some sort of recording that we would do. So this is us recording from the tour, and this is the stage, the build up, and just wait till it comes to your hard hole.
Oh, so you so Jonah, you want me to go with you if you on your tour?
I'm not sure if you're up for it. That would be awesome. I'm looking for other people. I mean, it's always best if we go together.
Yeah, that might
I know you're
be.
a friend, and I'll touch you by the shoulders. I like to keep you close.
Oh, yes, that might be interesting. I will get to travel around also. But I think that's I think we can really do it. It will be like a best auditions ever. Like we will sell tickets for those who want to see you live, and the others will can just hear you on the radio, or maybe sometimes we'll do some little like one song recording live, and that can be
Now
so
you
cool.
got me even more excited.
Yeah.
Say more about that.
That's cool. That's cool. I love
Yeah.
this setup.
So
Oh, go ahead.
I have this funny move that when you speak out in favor of a person or a cause, there's like a move for that. So
cool.
I imagine that when we do a recording, I just cut some pieces of the live recording. We play it some, and then I talk with Jonah like on this live, like where's the first place you will go to. More or less when will be the live performance, and then we will see how it will go out.
Oh, cool. Are you using Rally to the Cause then?
Yeah, I think so.
That's awesome. Okay, so then we're effectively kind of a montage here, right, of the performance. We get a little bit of money. By the way, just to slip this in, all Jocular wants to do is like he's paying you for sex. That is it. Like there's no pretense. There's no like he doesn't really want a whole lot of conversation. He just wants to sleep with Mercury with a mask on.
But does he want that in private, or does he want it to become known? Okay.
It will be known. You're pretty sure that he's going to talk about it.
Okay, but that is different. That is like pricier.
Cool. So yeah, you earn 2 jingle from that. So we're doing a montage. You guys kind of working through the details. Going to film some.
Can I slip in a move right there, because he said he wanted some private time? I would love to have the hypnotic move trigger there. When I have time and solitude with someone, they become fixated upon me, and I'll roll hot just to see what happens.
That's not going to work out badly for you at all. Yeah, that's a good idea. Roll that move.
Oh, wait, did I? Yeah, I think so. That's a 10. That's a 12 right there.
Wow. On a 10, you hold 3. For NPCs, while you have hold of them, they can't act against you. Cool. But he can do stuff like give you something you want, act as your eyes and ears, fighting, protect you, doing something you tell them to. Cool. Jocular's, he definitely angles the truth towards his goals, but you hypnotized him, right? He just wanted really like pillow talk, the little bit of pillow talk you get. He basically just wanted one over on Lynn because he's heard that the two of you are tight. And he just wanted to have sex with you so that he could basically mark some territory. But now he's found you to be a lot more than he ever anticipated, right? So now the whole fighting to protect you, those kind of things will start coming in play. He won't be acting directly against you. But we'll move past that. Jocular's definitely a thing that's around. Thanks, Mick, by the way. Appreciate it. I like Jocular. He's good. He handed me some grade A steak here. All right, so we've got you guys are doing a promo spot, and you're kind of drumming up things, getting ready for this big move to San Fran. San Fran is tickled pink. Like we do a quick cut over to San Fran. He like is watching the station on his flat screen TV. He's like,
it's his song.
Yes, it's his song. He's like,
yeah.
And of course, there's lots of people are moving from other places throughout smaller holes. And I'm like, they're all headed towards San Fran, right? And it's not taking away anything from Happy Valley per se, but it's definitely going to benefit San Francisco Towers. And so you guys, you're going to call out for a cause or person there as the news. And I'd like to see you rally to the cause here. Because if you get a miss, that would be hilarious.
It's 8 plus 2. It's 10.
No, on 10, you hold 2. Awesome. So you can spend your hold to have your audience do a couple different things.
So I suppose as the transmission is going on, and then we announce that Mercury is going to be traveling. The first probably step is like San Fran, because I think that's what we are angling at. And I want to spend a hold for people to go together to a place to name. So I want people who want to see Mercury perform live to meet us on his live performance concert in San Fran Towers. And I make it very clear. Come on, you will see the Mercury live performance, and then we play in the background the recorded piece of how he's performing today out here.
Nice.
And I would like also to spend my hold to send in supplies worth 1 or 2 barter, because I'm saying it. And if you want Station 8 to deliver you the transmission to those who cannot afford the live ticket but want to experience Mercury music, send in some donations and we will keep you informed with when is the next concert, and play you some of the live footage. So keep support us.
I love it. So,
do you want to add something, Mercury, to this broadcast?
Oh yeah, sure. So I'll give an exclusive interview. I'll have a special version of the San Fran song. That is, so I'll be playing that throughout the tour. But that's the very first time you hear it on air. And I'll call out some specific fans, like people that have donated before. They'll get mentions from me and specific messages.
You guys are in your own Patreon campaign. That's great.
Yeah. And I'll mention my good friend Aid and Jocular, who's in town, and people. We'll be having a great party here. And if you want to see a live performance, there's no better way to be than Happy Valley. I'll visit all of you in person, but we have the greatest crowd here. There's Lynn. She's keeping this place safe. She's guaranteeing that nothing bad will happen while you're here. So just come over here and have a good time like I do.
Oh, that's great. Here's the deal. You guys are so successful. I know you got a thing. I just want to roll this in as an after effect of what you've done to kind of build up this. And I know there's selfish reasons for you guys wanting to do it, but San Fran sees it differently. I'm giving both 8 and Mercury a +1 ongoing with moves regarding San Fran himself. Until you if you ever act against him, the +1 ongoing will go away. But you can still use the +1 against him up until that point. Okay. Just go ahead and mark that as hold. San Fran thinks you guys are the best because this is San Francisco Towers a week ago was under threat from 2 different gangs to be destroyed. Right now, it is going to be looking Super Bowl of the happy Hong Kong, right? Because you guys of what you're doing. So take +1 ongoing with all moves related to San Fran.
He did give me a cute breath robe, right? So
it's cute. Like the Wealth of Nations, for a jingle, if you could actually get someone who had enough money to buy it. But yeah, cute.
So I just sort of want as a contrast to this, just because of all of the super positive promo tours, there's a cut from that to 8's other broadcast of maybe and maybe we should talk about what happens here, but of an announcement of trying to get all of the powerful people to come in to get a summit, so it's a calls there. And I don't know if that's broadcast on air or how we send out that message, if we send it out personally to people, or we just hey, Lynn is holding a summit here to try to figure out what the hell is going on, how to deal with all of the beasts to make a greater, bigger collective community type thing.
Does 8 even believe in private broadcasts?
Well, I think that 8, the only thing he would tell to Lynn is, Lynn, if you can do it, if you broadcast it, everyone will know, and this can cause some security problems for you. If you wanna keep this summit private, you might want to send personal messages.
I'm like, there's going to be security problems no matter what happens, even if we send personal messages. There's going to be people who won't keep it secret. We might as well just broadcast it out there. And I kind of like look at the door to like because I imagine this is happening in your studio. We're talking about this. Like I look to the door to like where I know Tum Tum is out on the garden. Like things are gonna get out anyways. Like
Yeah, I would love
this
to
guy.
flip a message to Lynn. It's like if we're in the studio and Lynn's there, I would love for Mercury to tell Lynn, you know, they're gonna come anyway. It's better if they have a good time doing that and bring you some barter and merchandise and stuff, right?
So
Perfect.
just that
And I know
so
you're in
just
for a
that
good time. You love that, don't you?
yes. So just that that I understand you, Jonah and Lynn, because Jonah, you just convinced me to go on a tour with you to San Fran, and now Lynn, you are organizing this summit over here.
I imagine the
this will be
summit's happening after the tour to San Fran. So like
Okay.
Exactly.
you
Yes.
guys are going to San Fran, and then the next stop
Yes.
is like you come back to Happy Valley, and then you go out to another tour spot. So like this is maybe after the San Fran destination like concert, but before the next concert after that, when you're back at Happy Valley, there's going to be like everybody comes together at Happy Valley.
Exactly right.
Okay. Lynn, are you aware that I think the guy I've seen on the roof, I was told that he kidnapped someone from Colonel, and that Jakabaka. No, Jocular is
Jocular.
like, and the Jocular is holding this person, and he wants to meet with Colonel. So it will be pretty loaded over here.
Yeah, but you're going to head off to San Fran Tower, and I think that's going to give me enough time to sort out Jocular and Blue Hat and the Colonel and whatever that mess that's going on there. And hopefully the summit will be a good place for tensions to ease up a little bit. And maybe I can get Wu to make some conciliatory movements or offerings to make things a little bit easier. But I figure Tum Tum broadcasting information secretly to the Colonel, we've got to do something about it now. We got to start talk. We have to have these talks. Otherwise things are just going to get worse. So better to do it out in the open. And given the time frame, I think I can get Jocular and Blue Hat to be a little bit more comfortable before it happens.
Okay. I agree with you. So yeah, let's get rolling. Let's go live on audio, and just to say it on the recording, because I only wrote on the chat that earlier today sometime I broadcasted the information that Blue Hat, who was kidnapped by Wu, was recovered by Jocular, who was willing to return her to Colonel. So this information is already out there.
And there are loudspeakers inside Happy Valley, Wu. So when this is broadcast, like, you heard it too.
Yeah, boy, oh boy.
Can people just remind me of like Jocular's position, like in regards to Lynn? I'm thinking that he's maybe not as powerful, but maybe I'm mistaken.
No, right?
Okay.
Well, actually, Mick, I mean, let's partner up. What would you say as far as Jocular? He's not as powerful in Happy Valley, definitely not. But what do you see is Jocular's deal?
Well, I mean, not knowing specifically what areas of the surrounding parts of town are, not already taken by. I would think that he's a hard holder on a relative level with the Colonel and San Fran and Lynn. Maybe not quite. Maybe this is his move. Maybe this is his move to get up to the Colonel's level.
I like that.
I
like that.
Because I'm
maybe
thinking
it's a
that
Blades in the Dark style thing where he's making a move to jack up his cred to the next level of.
So that's what he aspires to be, kind of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking that could be a very good wrap up for the session if we kind of resolve that a little bit with the situation around Blue Hat, and maybe with Jocular having kind of gotten smitten with Mercury, he could help straighten things out.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing when you started to get the hypnotic effect going there.
Cool. Okay. So we are headed near the end, and of course we have the wrap up, and I do need to actually leave on time today. So I think we maybe got one, possibly two short scenes, and then we'll do our normal session wrap up.
So
I definitely
me-
want Wu to be involved in a scene, right? But what were you gonna say, Lynn?
I was gonna say, for me, I almost want the scene with like Wu like doing that, like me, Wu, and Jocular together, like trying to figure out this whole blue hat situation. Like almost like since this used to be like a business like built like corporation, like it's in one of those like empty, like totally empty floors, but it's like the meeting room in the center of that empty floor. Like there's nobody else there. It's just us three sitting around like a conference table that's like completely empty with like light strands like hanging down from the ceiling and like roof tiles missing and stuff like that. And we're just
Nice.
sitting at a
I like
conference table.
Sweet, a little bit of sunlight coming in.
Yeah.
And for the very observant watcher, occasionally they might see like something moving outside, like some kind of mega giraffe kind of thing go by.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Perfect.
So Jocular is, while he did go into the sauna and met with 8 one-on-one, he's not going to meet with Lin and Wu without some backup.
That's fair.
Okay. So, and I imagine Lin is not going to meet with him without some backup. Ming's going to insist, right?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
Ming is going to be like at the door, like Ming understands that like Lin can hold their own a little bit like in a fight, but is going to be there, but like close enough that they can respond in a moment, but like not like imposing. Like Ming's not there as a threat. Ming's there as in case shit goes really, really bad type thing.
Yeah. And the guy that's with Jocular is like, he's like a fucking sumo guy, right? Like he's just a big dude. He's probably not all quick, but he can grab a dude and break stuff on their body until they submit.
Yeah.
Right. So
Perfect.
he wears like, I think he just wears kind of like a robe, right? He doesn't give a shit. Right. So he's just this big dude who kind of stands in the back with his arms crossed. Like show his arms are like that big, like forearms. And he's just freaking huge. He's like E Honda big, right? E Honda from Street Fighter, if in case you guys didn't know. If you don't know, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah.
Like you should know. E Honda.
I sort of love this like small little like opening scene of like Ming and this guy like both sizing each other up and both thinking they can take the other one down no problem.
Tiny little Ming. And then just huge. I'm just gonna call him Honda, okay? I'm owning it.
Honda's
all right.
good.
This guy's name's Honda.
Okay. Hey, I don't. This doesn't need to happen on screen, but I just want to say that maybe I got with Ming for just a few seconds before this came down, and gave her a skinny on this crew because these are the guys I used to run with.
Right.
So I'm like, Honda looks like unstoppable force, but here's what you do, and he can't, and so like I don't know, like sweep his kneecap,
sweep the leg. Oh wow, E Honda cosplay is very silly. I just want to say.
Okay, so
be putting that picture in. Cool. So there is one piece of information that I want to make sure, because this was a scene that I kind of wanted to have, which was Kryn actually telling you the job that they wanted you to do.
Oh yeah, there is that.
And so, interest of time, the short version of it is that Kryn says there's this guy named Jakabaka, and he shows you a picture and says he hasn't paid his dues, and we want him to know that that's not acceptable. And that's really it. Like, he's offering you a jingle, whether you do it or you don't. He's not even really necessarily hiding it. And he's definitely not telling you that Jakabaka is one of the guards that comes in with Ming during the setup.
Right.
So would you have accepted that job? Like,
Nah, see, here's the thing. No. It could have been interesting to play out, but I think that my angle going in would be not to want to deal with these guys much anyway.
let's carve a little time. Let's set up that scene. It can be a quick one, and we'll make it a brief
Yeah.
scene. So let's say that Kryn comes to meet with you, right? He comes to find you. You guys were going to talk. No. That's right, because you were supposed to come by and meet with him later that night.
Yeah.
So that was at the gambling den, and you come in, and of course they've got like they got a backgammon, not like the roulette table, right? And they got a bunch of green felt tables where people are playing different cards, and there's some people who are playing some fucking mahjong, and it looks all high stakes as shit. And Kryn takes you into another room, and that's where he says, "Listen, here's the guy." He shows me his name's Jakabaka. He's been taking advantage of the house, and the house will not take it anymore. And I'm looking to farm this out because we're expanding, and so I want you to take care of Jakabaka. I'm not asking you to kill him. Just deliver a message. He needs to pay his debts. That's it. One jingle to you.
Huh. Yeah, well, typically I don't do strong arm shit, but you want me to deliver a message to this Jakabaka fellow that he owes you something and that he should pay back? Fine, I'll do it.
Okay.
But that's all.
That's all. That's all I'm asking.
That's what you'll get. Thanks for
Good.
doing business.
Yeah. Thanks, Woo. Claps you on the back, shakes your hand like this is us making a deal, shake your hand kind of thing. And then he'll say, listen, you want drinks tonight? You stick around here, gamble on your own jingle, but you want drinks? It's on the house.
Okay.
Everything's on the house tonight, right?
Everything's on the house for Woo. Cool. So yeah, then we can kind of jump forward. We'll jump back into the scene. And yeah, I know. I was trying to do the quotations with the way I said it. It's on the house.
Yeah, it's on the house because I'm just getting everything free.
You are.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what you get. Oh, there's and yeah, you come in, you give that quick little forward one to Ming, like, hey, sweep the leg kind of thing, and don't worry, he's all about.
Let's just because you said Jakabaka would be with Ming, right?
Yeah.
So I'm talking to Lynn's security people, and Jakabaka and Ming are there, or whoever else maybe, I don't know. But so I say that to Ming. I say, here's what you do with this Honda guy: you sweep the leg, and then I say to Jakabaka, "You're Jakabaka, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Some idiot Kryn wanted me to tell you that the house wants his money.
Okay.
Whatever. That's all I say.
Message delivered.
I think like I'm not there like when you're like talking to the security, but like I hear like just because of the way it is like I'm like just stepped away, but I hear the house wants to let you know that you owe them money, like they want their money, and I like just like turn my head and like stare daggers at Jakabaka. Like I'm like, we're gonna talk about this later.
Jakabaka's
Like,
Don't go around owning other people.
here's Jakabaka's reaction. That's
perfect. Awesome.
Cool. Oh, and E Honda now has a picture.
Oh,
It's at the bottom on row 28. It's the best. Let's see if I can actually. No, you can't rotate it out. Okay, cool. I was hoping to rotate it and have him facing towards his own name, but now he's just looking away, all surly. Okay, so there's E Honda. You can sweep his leg. There's Honda. Jockey bodyguard.
And he will go down hard.
Cool. So I think I'm sitting at the table, like when looking in Jocular's there, and I think I look at him like, look, I know that you have Blue Hat, Whether you kidnapped her, rescued her,
I didn't kidnap her.
I don't really care about that anymore. Like, all I know is that you have her. The Colonel wants her.
Yeah, all right, wait a minute. I care. Here's the thing. I don't, and I'm talking to Jocular. I don't care. You want to blame me to anybody else out there, especially the Colonel, because you're working some angle on the Colonel? That's fine. But you need to tell the truth here in this room. You tell Lynn, I did not do this thing that you're accusing me of. I mean, actually, okay, I did do it, but I did it on your orders under false pretenses because you told me I was rescuing this girl on your behalf, and what I was doing was stealing her on your behalf, and I don't hang with that kind of crap. And you just need to admit that here in this room right now, and then I'm satisfied.
Well, I think Lynn was pretty clear that they don't care how we got to this point.
But I care.
So, well, maybe that's just part of the severance package you don't fucking get.
Huh. All right. Since we are under Lynn's hospitality, I'm going to back the hell down right now and just sit here calmly and chill.
That's good. That's good because the last time you had a disagreement with Honda, I don't remember it going too well for you. And Honda's like, huh.
All right, boys, settle down. Jocular, you're here now. And I know you've heard the announcements. Everybody's heard the announcements that I'm trying to bring a summit of all the people who've got a little bit of hold in different places, because there's beasts about, and I think there's some situations brewing, and I just want to make sure that everybody can talk about what's going on and we can make all of our holds a better place. I think that you want to move up in the world and get some legitimacy as a holder of an enclave, and I think we can offer that. I mean, I've announced you as one of the people coming here as part of this summit. But part of being a leader of an enclave is being somebody that your constituents can trust, someone that does something for the good of the enclave. And going around hiring other people to kidnap members of other enclaves is not one of those things that earns your constituents trust and favor. It doesn't earn you any sort of respect from the other enclave holders, whether that's the person you directly offended or somebody else who's not even party of it. What I want is to make sure that we get Blue Hat to where Blue Hat wants to be, and that whatever grievances happen between you, the Colonel, between you and Wu, between Wu and the Colonel, all of those things can get resolved. Do you think we can work something out here?
Oh, we can definitely work something out, Lynn, and I appreciate you working with me on this to make sure the Colonel comes to understand our terms. I don't really like you lecturing me. I mean, I understand that you've inherited Happy Valley, and it's a very nice hold. It's really good for a market, probably the best market in Hong Kong.
When he says I've inherited it, I kind of like stand up like and push my chair back out like from like the table, and I like leaning over him. I'm looking at him. I'm like, look, I did not inherit Happy Valley. I earned my place here by being someone that people can trust and getting shit done for the good of the people. You may have taken what you have, but don't mistake that for earning the respect and building up something that lasts.
So he's on the edge of some biting remark, and then the door opens, and Jakabaka sticks his head in. Excuse me, and he opens it up, and then escorts Mercury in to the room.
Perfect.
And I think, Lynn, you probably got your back to the
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the door.
totally.
I'm walking up behind you, and I'm thinking that you probably see Jocular's expression change the minute the door opens.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he backs way the hell down. And then seeing Mercury go stand by Lynn, because of course there's that, that moment, pins and needles of like, oh, Mercury's here. Is Mercury gonna come over to me, Jocular? Because we just had a connection. We had a serious connection just
and
hours ago.
I walk over and I stand right in front of him, and I kind of lean on Lynn's shoulder, and I look him in the eye and I say, I know you were going to give Blue Hat away, weren't you?
Yeah, Blue Hat was. Here's the thing. Blue Hat wasn't with Colonel. She left him. I was going to return Blue Hat to Colonel. I can give her away.
And then I sit next to him and I say, see, no need to argue about things.
Cool. And I think like maybe I give a gesture to Jakabaka or Ming, and I would love to like them bring in Blue Hat like to the room.
Yeah, then Ming brings, because Jakabeka brought in.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Or no, like part of me wants to say Wu could do a thing here, but that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I think it makes more sense for Ming to bring in Blue Hat, who I have a picture of, which I sadly found out that actress passed away recently, which sucks because I've seen her in a few movies. So Blue Hat comes in and she looks around, and this is like a lot of big people and the person who kidnapped her, which is Wu. But she doesn't look accusingly at you as much as just like, fucking told you. I fucking told you.
Right. And so like when Ming brings in Blue Hat, I'm like, look, you can sit, you can stand. Really, all I want here from you, Blue Hat, is I want to know what you want. You can stay here in Happy Valley if that's what you want.
I'll stay here. That's what I want.
All right. That's fine. You're welcome to stay here. Everybody who wants to be here in Happy Valley and be a contributing member can be a member. You like if you want. I just want to make sure that that's what you want. And then I look at Jocular and I look at Wu. I'm like, she's now a part of Happy Valley. Leave her alone. We'll deal with what the Colonel wants. If you promised the Colonel you would return her to, you would give Blue Hat to the Colonel. That's not in her interest, and that's not going to happen anymore. So if you want to do something else, Jocular, and amend your message or do something else, you're free and welcome to. But taking her from where she wants to be, not your choice anymore.
That's not a good play, Lynn. I really think you need to reconsider it. Blue Hat is much more valuable if she goes back to Colonel.
No. It's what Lynn said. That's the way it's going to be.
Remember, if you want to be a part of this summit that's coming up, Jocular, you have to understand what other people of power want. And you can't just bargain a person away. Blue Hat wants to stay here. That's her choice.
Made yourself clear, Lynn.
Oh, okay, yeah, go, you do it.
No. You made yourself clear, Lynn, and he'll pause. So what's Wu doing?
Well, first of all, this all clicked now. I get it. I'm going to look at Blue Hat and say, I owe an apology. I should have listened to you and done what you wanted in the first place when you told me about it on the way back to Jocular's. Then I look at Lynn and I say, I owe a debt for having the guts to do the thing for her that I should have done in the first place when she asked me to. And then I look at Jocular and say, you, I owe squat. And if you want anything, any measure of power or respect around here, I suggest that you roll with this. Because I am with Lynn now. She may or may not want me, but here is my place. And if you got to throw Honda at me in order to get some jollies, then come on over, pal. Because I learned my lessons. And he took me down once. And that means I know a lot more about how to take him down than I used to.
So Jocular with Honda, with the person he absolutely, of all the people in the world, doesn't want to hurt on the other side of the table. And Ming and Jakabaki looks around, and discretion's the better part of valor for this guy. And he says, okay, you've got Blue Hat. She stays here. And Colonel's going to be coming after her. So that's not my problem. And yeah, I guess we're done here.
Yep.
He'll stand up from the table, and he's just going to walk right out with Honda following.
Yeah, and we let him, like, there's nobody going to stop him, like, leaving and walking away. But I think, like, everybody else, like, I stand up from the table and I kind of look at everyone, and I look at Blue Hat specifically. I'm like, all right, let's figure out what you can do here, how you can get set up and earn your keep here, and stay here on a permanent basis. And I think that's like us walking out of there, like down the stairs, trying to figure something out.
Yeah, that'll close. I have to, again, detail I have to slip in. There's a moment, Lynn, where you look at Jakabak and he looks at you like, see, I got you. Yeah. I brought in a heavy hitter here. Just so you know, I recognize it. You better recognize it. All within one look.
That's totally. That's perfect.
Sweet. God, there's a part of me where I was like, I really wish that we had eavesdropping, but he broadcasts everything. I don't think Jocular would have agreed to it. So
I do like the idea that we have the rally to the cause at the end.
Yeah, we're going to do the rally to the cause at the end for the announcement of the summit. So let's get that, and that'll be our last die roll of the game. We'll go through our post-game stuff.
You're on mute.
Yeah,
So,
you're on mute.
Yeah, that's us 9.
Oh, man. If only somebody could have helped you. Could somebody have helped?
I could totally have helped, don't you think? Right? We would
think so.
Together. Yeah.
So, do it.
Do I need to roll for that? Or do I just?
Yeah, you need to roll HX and give me an idea. Like, how are you helping out with just part of the broadcasts, special messages,
so.
individual heart holders?
Yeah, like we said before, we are kind of advertising this as one of the series of awesome events that Happy Valley has got going for it. Not just concerts, like political summits. It's where you want to be. It's like the hottest heart hole for miles and miles.
Eight's in love with you, so that's got to make him feel good, man. You guys have just been working together so closely.
I do think so.
All right, so you got HX +1 with 8. So go ahead and roll that.
Okay, what I roll? Do I roll hot or?
You just rolled HX, which is a +1.
Sure.
So 2d6 +1.
Mm-hmm. Whoops, and there I go. Let's see about that. That's
+1.
Just barely.
But it's enough to push you to a 10, which is great. Let's mark that. Well, I mean, if you know the options now, awesome. If not, we can talk about it at the opening of next session. Your call.
It's definitely get together at the place I named. So I want all the all the people in power that Lynn wants to be here to come here. And I'm also using the option defend something you name. So I think I'll call for a defense of this meeting.
Oh, nice. That's really clever. Really clever.
Cool.
Dang,
Everyone's
that's
pulling
awesome.
out their security resources.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that, but in this defense, I mean that I don't want them to take too much of their own people, because defense is already here. So having too much armed men on one place is too risky. So just take just a few guys and we have it covered. I think
Cool.
it's
Maybe concentrate on the monsters.
Yeah.
To make the commute easier.
yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. That is going to bring our session to a close. So let's do the normal HX at the end. I will begin with Johannes. So tell us, Mercury, who knows you better?
Let's see. I think I really connected with Lynn on that very first moment on the rooftops. So I would nominate Lynn.
Okay. And then, Lynn, you would mark a +1 on your sheet towards Mercury. Mercuro. All right. And then let's ask Woo. Who knows you better, Woo?
I know me better. No, actually,
This is not masks. Can't do that.
definitely Lynn.
Cool. And 8. Who knows you better?
I think Mercury. We had like a quite nice thing going on, and we are going together on a tour. So definitely, Mercury knows 8 better.
Agreed.
All right. And Lynn, who knows you better?
I've got a tough call because I feel like both Wu and Mercury and Jonah know me better. But I think I'm going to go with Wu as the person who knows me better just from that last conference.
Nice. Yeah, that last conference probably put you over the edge, I think. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Cool. Last bit. Hopefully you guys have a little bit of time. I need to take 60 seconds because I got to take a really quick bio break. But please think of a rose and a thorn. A thorn, something that maybe it could have been a little bit different, or something you would like to have had, or just didn't land the way that you would have it liked it to. Constructive criticism, and then rose, a thing that appraised to another player, or a particular scene, or a thing that you really liked about today's game. And think about those. I'll be back in literally like 1 minute.
I'll repeat this later on, but I just want to give a few roses to all of the players. This is just awesome. I'm enjoying myself immensely, and it's like we're all running the session together. We're not just letting Rich run it,
I like this.
and he's totally rolling with everything we just suggest. So it's like a really good group dynamic going on. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
Totally agree. Awesome.
So, Paolo, where you're in Eastern Europe, but I don't. Where do you live?
Poland.
Poland. Okay. Okay. Good. Excellent. I think I might have known that from seeing on the Gauntlet conversation chat, but yeah. Okay. Cool.
Where are you guys sitting, by the way? Like, I'm in Austria, Vienna, Austria,
Okay.
also in Europe.
I'm in Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
in the United States.
Rich is in Florida and I'm in California.
Yeah, so we have a round the world session, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
It's just
Wow,
like
yes,
Australia.
it's early for you right now.
Yeah. It's a bit
Saturday
early.
morning cartoons is seriously in the morning for you.
Yeah, it's like when Voltron used to run.
That's commitment, man.
Yeah, so it turns out if you drink 2 of these,
Oh yeah, then you have to have more bio break.
you have to have an extra bio break.
Yeah.
Pro tip. Okay, cool. So let's start off. I always start off with thorns so that we can end on that positive note. Thorns. I wish there could have been more combo scenes. I feel like until the end there, integrating Wu was a toughie. And I didn't super love that. I felt like Wu was tangential for at least the first half of the game. And I would have liked to have figured out ways to better integrate him in. I think the end was like exactly where we needed to be, maybe most of the session, but I'm glad we got there. So thank you, Mick, which dips into a rose. But thanks for doing that. It was a great, bold choice that felt character motivated and awesome. And also I feel like eight didn't get as much playtime this time around either, and I wasn't super happy about that. So those were my 2 thorns, and I'd like to try to concentrate as we come to our last session next week. Last session. Dang it. For now, I think Apocalypse World Hong Kong might come back around the calendar, not for too long. All right. So thorns. Who else has a thorn they'd like to jump in, or do you want me to call upon you? I can.
I can go. So, for me, one of the thorns, I love the fact that there's a lot of threats because I like having pressure for things to happen. The thorn that I have with it is that a lot of the threats are very like one-off dealing with things. So like, while I like having them, I don't know how to best approach them because like I want to deal with them, but at the same time, like I don't necessarily need 5 scenes with different NPCs in order to deal with them.
Yeah, there's a point. I hear you, and there's a point when you listed everything out. I almost wanted to say we custom move a hard roll, and it gives you hold to like deal with those things that you distribute out. Maybe let's noodle on that over the next week. Maybe that's a thing we do.
Yeah, we'll think about it because like I could also see like there's definitely parts of it where like I want to deal with them, and I almost want to see like a scene where it appears Lynn is vulnerable, just because like they're one-on-one with somebody, like dealing with someone, and like someone tries to like be aggressive against Lynn, and they just get fucked up because they underestimate what Lynn will do and in things like that. But like I also like I said, the thorn of it is that it's a very one-on-one. Like in order for that to happen, it has to be like separated from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thorns.
Cool. Johannes, you raised your hand, so let's let you have go next. What do you got?
I have just one thorn, and it's a minor one because I want to add I really enjoyed this session so much. It was great. It's my thorn is about the conflict. I loved all the social conflict that we had going on. That was great. And I would have loved for some physical conflict to have happened in this session. And maybe that's something we can kind of keep in mind for next time. Maybe the monsters, something like that. I could so much see like Mercury being injured or rescued or kidnapped or getting in trouble on the trip, right? That could be so much fun. But it's a really small thorn because I love the session.
Cool. Yeah, I think next session I see as opening up with the travel out and performance, and then since Lynn's going to be remaining behind, getting things in order, like working deals to get the summit to happen, like seeing who's coming and that kind of stuff. I think that's what I would see. So we can try to get there. Mick, what thorns do you have, sir?
Do I have to have a thorn?
Yes.
Is that
Here, it's a craft. Our game is a craft of fun, and we can always improve. And you can just bring the thorn to me.
No, it's a cop out maybe, but I wish I had been able to play this from the beginning. That's the only thing. But that said, I don't feel like I was tangential.
Okay.
At the early stages. I know that I don't want to like block your thorn. I'm just saying I liked having the space at the beginning to find my place.
Okay.
And then it just came to me and I got it.
Okay, cool.
I'm a shitty lieutenant to a shitty leader, and I can be a really good lieutenant to a good leader. And that's the hook I can play off with this guy.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I like having it established in my head, the idea that Blue Hat actually tried to get me to treat her like a full-on human being instead of a piece of property. And I didn't have the guts to do it at first until Lynn did have the guts to do it and made me man up, so to speak, and do it. And that is cool. And that was my rose hidden in my thorn. So I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Cool. Awesome. So last but not least, Pablo, what thorns do you have, sir?
I think that the only thing is that somewhere in the middle we have the session where Mercury was playing, and then I personally jumped in to say that am I recording, and then we jumped into the studio, and then Lynn wanted to broadcast something, and then we jumped into Mercury having sex with and it was like a mix up. I think slightly too much. Maybe because of me, I wanted to jump in. Do we take it to the studio? But then it got mixed like too much scenes into one break. And
I hear you.
Yeah, and then maybe I didn't. I was really hoping for Lynn, because me and Lynn have the same highlights. So I was hoping that if I go hard on Tum Tum and threaten him, really, Lynn will come and try to calm me down first, and then get something from Tum Tum. So that's what I was hoping at for introducing this, like really going hard. Maybe I should have like stated, but I was really aiming at something like this over here.
Oh yeah, I can see where you're going from, but that I'm sorry I didn't interpret it that way. Like I was oh no, he's going hard, and so like this is like how I lead type thing. Like when shit needs to get done, someone who's going to do it will do it, and I'll let them do what they need to do.
Cool. Very good. All right. Well, let's roll out to Rose, as Mick kind of led us off by dipping into a secret rose. That was cute. Thanks for being bold, Mick, like trusting in our previous gaming together to say, you know what, I've got an idea. If I'm just going to throw a couple names out and let's set up this situation. And that turned out really well. Like Jocular and Blue Hat turned out to be really interesting, and were a good part of today's session. So thank you for that. I like that. Thanks, Johannes, for really the rose is for your MC who isn't sick this week, so that you could be with us. Really, that's because it's always good having Mercury as part of this crew. We really missed you last week, so I'm glad you were able to play with us. Yeah, and thanks for Badass 8. That was just awesome. I really liked that lead up, that setup for that scene. That was fun. That was really fun. Poor Tum Tum. Oh, okay, he totally deserved it, but that was awesome. Cool. Other roses, folks.
So I really liked a lot of like the small personal scenes that we had. I thought they were fun to be a part of, as well as really fun to watch and be an observer of. So like both like the scenes between me and Jonah and me and Woo, but also like between Jonah and Woo, and like just seeing all of those like small quiet scenes I thought were really interesting, and I really liked them. So shout out to all of those things.
Awesome.
I want to second that. So that was almost the same as my rose was going to be. I just want to give a massive shout out to the whole group. I feel like we have a great chemistry going. We're playing off of each other's clues very well. I feel we're kind of helping you, Rich, emceeing, and you're being really receptive to all the things that we're throwing out. So it feels like all the session runs itself. It's like very smooth sailing. And I really enjoy that. So I'm so happy I could make it this time. And I kind of feel like I missed out last time.
It's funny how I went from being a DM, right? Everything was a DM, to, oh, well, maybe there's such a thing as a GM, to, oh, wait, now I'm the storyteller. And now I'm playing games where, as default, I'm the master of ceremonies. And that's where I feel most at home. You guys are the performers. I'm here to keep the eyes on what the right ring is to look at for the performer who's going, and I really enjoy it. And it's great that I'm blessed with such consistently great players on Saturday morning cartoons. That it's an easy job. Like, this isn't work. This is pure fun for me. Awesome, Pavel. Roses from you.
It was a great session. I had a lot of fun, and I'm really happy that Happy Valley has this spa complex, because the opening scenes full of steam, massage, Russian mafia style guys talking in sauna. It was nice.
It's scenes that I've never seen in an Apocalypse World game. I've been playing this for years, like since way back in first edition. Like I've been playing for a long time when I only had the playbooks, and it always drops to that Road Warrior thing, right? And it's just, I'm so glad that we're trying something different. It's really fun. Really fun. Anything else? Anybody else? All right. Well, like I said, I was supposed to end 10 minutes ago. So thanks, everybody. This was fantastic. And we'll see you in a week as we finish up this current chapter of the story of Hong Kong. You guys have a great night.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
weekend.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.